Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
I wish my bank account wasn't so professional. No turning back now.
Chris Wolfhart.
This statement is not an Xbox.
And Dr. Agro.
My favorite thing is pretty dresses.
Here on GigaBoots.
Oh boy, do I have a game for aggro come this December.
Mickey heads rise up. The fakest trailer lives.
Hello everyone and welcome to Big Think Dimension number 299. The next episode will be 300. Are you excited?
I hope so.
You should be. Because next time, we're going to take viewer questions. We're going to let you know there's going to be a link in the description where you can send your questions in. I'd like to thank my co-host, the Gray Ominous Square, next to me for joining me on this episode again.
My favorite member of Weezer.
Gray Square? Oh, man. I love computers. I love technology. They're all so good. They're so delightful. But yeah, you remember when we started Big Think Dimension with a question section at the end of every episode?
No, because we did that like 4 times and went, oh, this is way too much.
Yeah,
and now we regularly put out episodes 3 times as long as those. But at least nobody has to edit them now.
Right?
Yeah, no one has to edit them now. We're so powerful because of that. Yeah, no, this is I'm excited. I'm sure people have a lot of questions. They've been building up since our last mailbag episode 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, it was at least 2 years, right?
Yeah, I feel like we
did kind of a run of them.
Yeah, we did it. We did a decent bit of them, and then we just sort of went, we got these other series to do, so we got to get to those. Anyways, Pokemon Go to the Movies, soon ending in a podcast feed near you.
Finally.
I think. The funniest thing about these series specifically, Chugging Bleach and Pokemon Go to the Movies, is it's like, well, we recorded the most recent episode a while ago. Did it come out? Is that real? You know what is real?
What's that?
Dandadan. We did an episode of Weeaboots on Dandadan. Go watch that episode of Weeaboots on Dandadan. I got to watch Dandadan because here's the covenant. I watched an anime, which I got to enjoy because you, the viewer, are now going to go watch that review of said anime.
Uh-huh.
If you do not do that, I will never get to watch good anime again.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we're gonna Dan will show up and we'll have to record some shit about the new norm.
This is possible. If you don't go watch that Dandadan review, that may happen. Go watch it. I don't like this. I don't make the rules.
Content creation's dangerous.
It's
many pitfalls.
Incredible amounts of pitfalls. I sat there for a bit yesterday and went, what the fuck game did we play on Friday? I was like deep into a fugue state yesterday going, what game did we play on Friday? I got to open Big Think by talking about what game we played on Friday. Did you know it says news in the upper left?
Huh. That's not right.
Here's some fucking news. We technically didn't play a game last Friday, at least not a video game. Some might say we played a dangerous game with real humans involved called Can You Tell the Difference? Between the PS5 Pro and the PS5 regular.
So we played a game with your wallet.
Lighting something on fire isn't a game. You should have learned that when you were a child. I feel like a parent should have informed you, but that's not what games are. Games aren't when you just destroy a thing in a way that's kind of neat to look at, I guess. Can you the difference, PS5? Vote me the right thing to do, so do. The PS5 is an $848 console.
Uh-huh. And it showed, right?
The PS5 Pro is an $848 console. The PS5 is somewhere in the range of $540, $530. Something like that. So that's like... And now they cut the price of the digital just for the holiday season.
And not even yet. That's in like a week or so.
Yeah. So technically, because of the way they set this up, the difference between the PS5 digital and the PS5 Pro digital, because that's its default state, is nearly twice as much money. Did you notice that?
No, I wouldn't say that the PS5 Pro was twice as good. That is, in fact, huge.
That is a huge price difference. It is a huge price difference to go from $380 to $700.
Yeah.
That is a massive price difference. Now, people who listen to this podcast know I hate temporal anti-aliasing. I hate performance problems in video games. But also, I'm a reasonable human. I can tell you to more than 99% of people out there, you won't be able to know. You won't. You can't tell. You don't know.
I feel like if there had been any length of time at all between seeing both one and then the other, nobody would be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like if you had been like, okay, Bob, I'll switch. You go to the store and come back. It'd be impossible. There'd be zero chance.
Bob leaves. I switch PS5s real quick midstream. I don't say anything. I'm like, chat, don't tell him. He wouldn't know.
No.
He'd be like, this part of the game looks mildly rougher.
I think the only one I would know on is Dragon's Dogma 2.
Which is fair. And that's the thing. That's the exact game the PS5 Pro is here to solve.
Right.
Your games that are way too ambitious. Yeah. Yeah. You know, we didn't boot Immortals of Avium.
No, we didn't.
It doesn't have PS5 Pro support to replace the FSR2 with the pisser, but it could fix performance.
Yeah, but
I don't think it will, but it could.
Right, it's like that's definitely not the main problem there.
It is one of many. One of many, like a Hydra. You would cut off the performance's head, and then the other heads would grow out, and it'd be terrible. I find it really funny. Because I was watching, if you saw it live, that was the best way to see it. Okay. But after the live stream, I went and checked out the Modern Vintage Gamers review of the PS5 Pro, which is not what you would call a thorough, diligent review, but it is a first impression sort of thing, like everyone's turning out.
Of course.
And it was very funny when he got to Silent Hill 2, and he was just like, if this is the patch for the PS5 Pro, I'm extremely disappointed. And I'm like, yeah, that's underselling it. They put in pisser support. You can tell because of certain issues it gets that Dragon Age Veilguard also gets with the shading on foliage. You can tell that's definitely pisser technology, but the image is just broken now because it's doing reflections at random. So chat's like, what do you mean it's not raining? I'm like, it's not raining. It looks broken. Sporadic spots on the road are becoming wet.
Yeah, I actually, that was the one where I was like, I don't remember it looking this bad, but it wouldn't look worse on the Pro, right?
Yeah, because for people who don't know, I kept Spiff and Bob in the dark. They had to turn around. I swapped systems. They didn't know which one was which any of the times, except for what their eyes were telling them on a 65-inch OLED, a grand total of maybe 12 feet away from you. These are pretty normal, if not optimal conditions for most people. It was a struggle. They were fighting tooth and nail every game.
We managed to do pretty well.
Yeah, I think you got 16 out of 19 or 18,
something like that. And so it was way higher than I thought it would be. But a lot of those were like a coin flip. Just lucked out.
I will tell you the weirdest thing for me. Now, keep in mind, we couldn't use variable refresh rates. So some of these games that could boost the performance above 60 significantly, like something that, say, like it ran 90 on the PS5 Pro and ran 60 on the... We wouldn't know. It was frame capped to 60.
Right.
And there's a decent argument to be made of, if your TV doesn't support VRR, the PS5 Pro is easily a waste.
No, you buy a better TV.
Buy a better TV first, please. But here's the thing. The only game where I'm sweating out of the entire list of games, there were two. Black Myth Wukong, where the performance was so rock bottom on both. I'm like, I don't know. This one seems mildly smoother.
One of the best-selling games
of the year, and it just runs like total shit without frame gen.
Yeah, with frame gen and all this other nonsense, and it didn't get any sort of update for the Pro. They didn't even touch it. And every mode has a frame cap of some sort, which is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't one of the modes like a 40 mode?
Yeah, one of them was like 45.
Yeah, 45 is real weird.
Like, what are you doing? That's not
the idea of capping at 40 is that it's easily divisible by 100. Like, you can multiply that into 120, so it will match the refresh rate of a 120 hertz screen. 45 doesn't make sense. Period.
Yeah,
no one has a 90 hertz screen. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Elden Ring running acceptably now is kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool that the PS5
you
version
can just play
now,
the
right?
PS4 version.
No, for some reason I can't.
Oh, I see.
I should have booted Armored Core 6 between then and now, but I still haven't. For anyone who doesn't know, which I hate every time this gets covered and no one underscores the core problem, FromSoft made really shitty PS5 versions of their games. I can't confirm this, but Lex McDonald did allege they are literally not compiling with certain optimizations for that entire code base on PS5 for all these games. For people who don't know what that means, basically, when you go to compile your C++ code, there are certain things you can tell the compiler, like, oh yeah, please optimize this, do that. It's that sort of thing where back in the day, we found out that Mario 64's code doesn't do that, and people were making fun of it until other people pointed out, have you considered that maybe those optimizations were bad back in 1996 and might break the game? But that's like, nowadays it's stable, it's fine, it's whatever. For some fucking reason, they don't, according to Lance McDonald, they are not doing that on PS5 at all. So that's why it has weird performance issues it shouldn't have based on the hardware, because you can play the PS4 version on the PS5 and it runs better.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, FromSoft, please stop making shitty PS5 versions of your games. Back to the Pro, though. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
What would you say was the biggest difference during that stream? Because I could tell them what the... Oh, I forgot to mention what the other game was. So Black Myth Wukong was one of the games. The other game I genuinely struggled to know, like, to find the thing. Because I can't just be like, I know which one I plugged in. Right. I need to see something concrete on screen. Was Spider-Man 2, weirdly enough.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Ratchet.
No, Ratchet I could.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2 I couldn't. Ratchet was actually really easy for me. The beginning of Ratchet, the cutscene was hard. The cutscene was really hard. You would think the cutscene, being a high visual showcase, would be easier, that they could crank it even higher. Cutscene looks immaculate on both, and I'm just like, oh no. Then we get into the gameplay, and there's that golden pedestal that's, you run past that to get on the floating thing to go through the parade. And just Ratchet covering that for 1 second, and then it not being covered by Ratchet and looking a fourth or an eighth the resolution on the normal PS5, and then the pisser making it look perfectly normal. I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're good. Playing it off stream, you can literally play in the quality mode. It's like 55 to 60 frames per second. Because VRR. So literally, imagine the quality mode you played, like, what was that? 3 years ago, but at 60 frames per second. That's literally the goal of the Pro. That is that. So that version, like off stream, I played it. It was like, this is incredible. This is awesome. This is what I would hope for in the future. Spider-Man 2, I can't tell. Spider-Man 2, I'm like, oh my God. We're like lining up train tracks. We're staring down the train tracks and we're like, this looks bad on both. And I'm like, but this looks bad in a way I would expect from Pisser. Not objectively better, but it looks bad in the way I would expect from the new.
Yeah, see, that means they failed. That means the PS5 Pro is a failure, in my opinion, when it's like, I can tell not because of it looking better, but because I understand the technology and the sort of errors it might produce.
Yeah.
Is it any surprise that scalpers are stuck selling these things under an MSRP already?
Yeah, no, it's not. like when they announced the price, I mentioned that this literally would happen. Like if you go back and watch our coverage from when they announced the PS5 Pro, I'm like, scalpers are going to buy it up and find out they can't move it and shit their pants.
Yep.
They truly made a $700 box with one use case named Dragon's Dogma 2, and hopefully in 6 months a second use case called Monster Hunter Wilds, and nothing else.
There are benchmarks on YouTube showing the PS5 Pro version of Monster Hunter beta, which is interesting because it wouldn't have hit the general public in time,
Right.
but the reviewers would have had PS5 Pros in time for the beta, and it did run significantly better. It looked like really smooth and playable in a way that was like, oh,
I'll consider getting one when they fuck up and drop its price by $200.
I really hope.
Speaking of that, did you see the fucking completely embarrassing, pathetic PS5 sale they're doing for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we were just talking about that, about how it starts, what was it, in 1 week?
Something
And then
like
it goes
that. Yeah, 1
until
week, it's
almost
$380.
the end of December. Yeah. Yeah, because the PS5 Pro...
$380 for digital. Digital.
But if you think about it, that makes the PS5 Pro nearly twice as much. Would you say that looked nearly twice as much on stream? Would you say that like, oh, well, that's worth two times as much money because it's a $700 console versus the $380 console? Neither comes with a disc drive.
I'm very excited to see how much this disc drive one's going to sell for. Are they going to be like 400, or are they going to be like, nah, that's 450?
I don't think they're going to put the disc drive version on sale. That's my bet.
That's insane. But you
It
might
is.
be right. You might be right. Sony has lost their minds completely.
In a time where the disc drives are sold out because Sony didn't prepare the pipeline at all for the PS5 Pro launch, eating up the tiny amount of disc drives in the channel, the distribution channels. They're putting the digital on sale and possibly not the disc drive version of the PS5.
Yeah, they probably don't want somebody buying physical ones and then scavenging the disc drives off, which maybe will happen. I'm not even sure that's going to happen.
I don't think you can do that. I think it's like hard installed. I don't think that's...
No, it's not.
You can rip it out of a normal one?
It doesn't even come connected.
In the normal disc PS5.
In the Slim, yeah.
You have to actually install it yourself like we did with the Pro.
1 second.
Yeah.
It's
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. They just package it with it.
When you bought the Slim, the disc
It is
drive...
that exact same thing that you buy in the disc drive box. It's just packed in with the PS5.
What are we
shit.
doing? What are we doing?
That's
What is going on?
what a nightmare.
What a terrible user experience.
Nobody wants to do that. Like, that's worse than installing an M2.
Yeah, an M2 is like fucking understandable. Your console works before you get the M2 in.
Yeah,
You
I think
can't-
in fact, I think you're down permanently one USB slot because of that, because you even have to plug it in with that little USB-C thing.
What are you talking about? What?
Oh, did you not know that?
Ours doesn't use a USB-C at all.
Yeah, what?
Oh, wait, no, maybe I misremembered.
Yeah,
There was
I'm like,
something like that, though.
Chris, I sincerely hope you're just fucking wrong on this and you
I
misremembered
might be
installing
wrong
a
on
disc drive.
no, I do not misremember that. That's real.
It's so stupid.
Because that was the whole
Jesus.
point. That's the whole point. That it made it easier for them because they're the same unit. There is no different PS5 units anymore. They're the same unit.
I get that end of this 100%, but it can still save them all the margins and shit, and they pre-install it.
Right, they would just have to do one more step of at the manufacturer, put them together.
Oh, what the hell?
Every way they can save money. That saved them a little bit, so they're going to take it.
That is insane.
Yeah. This thing, now knowing that, man, this thing must cost like the regular PS5 Slim. Must cost them like at most $300, maybe $250 to make. If it's that segmented and that much reduced labor.
I don't.
Yeah, I just physically confirmed it to make sure I'm not crazy. It's the same. The PS5 Slim, both you get the same PS5 in those boxes, and the disc one just includes the disc drive that you install yourself.
What the hell are we doing? Could you imagine a Nintendo was like, now install the cartridge slot? What the fuck? That's insane.
Yeah.
What is like I was dealing with that for the PS5 Pro, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a premium product. What a shit experience. I shouldn't have to rip off 2 different panels, frame one, because that is literally how it works on the Pro. The panels are not like the launch PS5 panels. The launch PS5 panels felt more solid. You pull out a certain corner and then it comes off and it feels natural. The PS5 Pro, the prongs are on every side. You need to bend it enough so the prongs just barely escape the hole and then it pries off. It felt horrible to do that to a brand new piece of electronics.
It's over $700. Yeah.
That is $848 with tax. What the fuck? Oh my God. What happened? Anyway, So I've heard people be like, they complain too much about temporal AA. They complain too much about AAA games not performing well enough. And you know what this tells me? I have to keep the PS5 Pro. And given that is an ultimatum, because that's the only way to reduce it, to make the problem disappear, because I can't not talk about the elephant in the room. That means the ultimatum is we have to make enough money to counteract the price of the PS5 Pro. So if my demands aren't met by the end of tomorrow's stream, I'm shutting down the channel. This is just how it goes. It's the only reasonable way to do business nowadays. Choke point capitalism.
Man, I'm gonna catch up on so much backlog anime before I can't pay my rent.
Cool. Damn, I can't believe temporally I put Grow out on the streets. Yeah, we're gonna have to auction GigaBoots to the Onion. Oh man. Off stream I saw some neat things. Off stream I saw the higher performance and stuff. If Sony could come to me, right? If they could come to me as I lie in my deathbed and just be like, "Don't worry, the rest of the PS5 will run at 60 frames per second on this magical box," I could die in peace. But no, that's not happening. They can't promise that. They would just be lying to me. It's not gonna be Ratchet and Clank. They're not all going to be, here's the quality mode running at 60.
No.
If that was the case, it'd be like, oh, well, it's twice as many frames. Of course it costs twice as much. That just makes sense. But no, it's not that. And that's really unfortunate. This thing really, truly is such an incredibly unpowerful proposition. Bob.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, right? The core conceit of that stream is that it shouldn't be this way. Bob, how stressful was it to tell which one was the twice as much console? How stressful was it for you? Because I'm watching Spiff sweat and just like give more shits about pixels he's ever done. Yeah, he's in chat saying it was so very stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. It came down to the wire on basically all of them, with only a select few that it didn't. I think strangely one of the other most obvious ones was NCAA. Sorry, it's not called that.
No, it's EA Sports College Football 2025.
Yes,
because the sideshow stuff, like them running up to the film in a field and them behind the scenes and stuff, was 60 frames per second instead of 30. And we were all like, oh, that actually looks great. This is awesome.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't expect
weird.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many of them was like, oh man, I hope I get this right. I will look like an idiot if I don't get this right.
Bob's like, oh, my dignity, my integrity's on the line.
Because my eyes aren't great, and I can't just stand up and look at it. Like, if I go up to the TV, I bet I could if I'm right next to it, but that's not what this is about.
Right. This is about you playing from a statistically normal distance for larger than normal TV.
Right.
Spiff saying, I had to pick out certain things to focus on it. If the Pro didn't change them significantly, I was just fucked. Hair was usually a giveaway. Yeah, hair and foliage does really poorly with TAA. So Pisser did fix some of that and randomly break other things.
Yeah, like Star Wars Jedi Survivor was almost entirely better, but there were a few things that were bad.
Like-
That made people like worried. They're like, no, this ambient, that's messing up, but everything else looked better.
Yeah, like the foliage shading was radioactive and constantly sparkling and fizzling. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm like, that's objectively worse. I'll take it. That is literally how I feel. Like, yeah, the foliage's shading shouldn't be quarter resolution sparkling like this. That looks broken. But at the end of the day, I'll take it because it looked radically smoother. It had way fewer TAA artifacts, and it looked radically sharper. I'll take it. Because at the end of the day, the number one thing that bugs me. Top 2 things that bug me about temporal anti-aliasing. Number 1. That ghosting shit.
Yeah.
I hate seeing someone's arm move and then 5 ghost arms behind their arm. It's so distracting. Number 2, when someone moves real quick and the thing behind them is now an 8th resolution in Alias to hell. That looks terrible. But it is number 2. Number 1 still ghosting by a country fucking mile. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'll take the weird grass. I'm okay with games with graphic settings that are just fucking podunk levels of low. I'm not okay with the ghosts everywhere.
Yeah, it's funny that a lot of these could have been solved by, hey, run at a lower res and turn off all these effects.
No, yeah.
Like, guys,
you know what would be
your game isn't looking good by turning these effects on. You know that, right?
You know what setting would look really professional? 720p.
Yes.
I haven't, once again, none of these games that are obliterated with TAA, I can even look at and think if they weren't, they'd look notably better than last gen games. Like, they can't even get to that.
The biggest disappointment of the stream, Bob. Alan Wake 2.
That was really bad.
It was staggering.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a lot more of an effect in the dark world.
In the city, you would see a lot more glass, so you'd see a lot more transparent and good quality reflections in the bodies of water and the glass.
Like the TAA shit is like makes things melt a lot more in the dark world.
You're probably right. But it just, like, the fence looked really bad on the normal, and then we booted the PS5 Pro. The most fun thing, in my opinion, with that stream is to look at a tally of which version's which and just watch my face. Because I know which one's which the whole time. So when we boot the Pro and I'm, like, sweating because it looks worse in a couple ways.
Yeah, like Smith, I was also choosing things to focus on, so it was like, oh, well, I'll have to keep in mind the way this fence looked bad. And then we went PS5 Pro, or the second one, I didn't know what it was yet. It was like, that's still bad. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you have to call these things out the whole stream.
Right.
The whole stream is them calling out these things of like, I don't know. I thought that would fix it, but...
Every Sony game was the hardest. Because they
look great.
Right. It's like, come on.
Yep. If every, and I said this before the Pro even came out, if every game looked as good as a Sony game, then there would be no problem. There would really not be much of a demand for any TAA solutions, hardware-based TAA solutions at all.
It'd just be like, why'd you make this? What's this box for?
Meanwhile, now it's like, oh, it's for like, your Star Wars Jedi Survivors, your Monster Hunter Rise, Wilds, your Dragon's Dogma 2, and probably Resident Evil 9, since that's an open world RE Engine game.
Shouldn't be, though.
The gameplay opportunities there excite me. The performance penalties there horrify me. I'm like, oh, cool. I would really like to see what these goofy motherfuckers are going to do for that. Because I can't imagine at all right now what that looks like. Oof. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to bring up about the Pro specifically. I do appreciate that it came with 2 terabytes. Like, that, you think that doesn't matter, but I now don't have any urge to buy more storage.
That's true.
Which I really was fighting. Because I sure do be having a lot installed. Which luckily, now that we're done with that Pro stream, comparison stream, I can delete a shitload of games. Bob, how many terabytes or whatever of games did you install for that fucking stream?
I cleared 680 gigabytes, and that was not enough. I then needed to clear another 50 or so to get Horizon in there.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up our list of the games we covered, just so people who didn't watch the stream can know what games they could expect to see there. Let me see. I don't know. Wait, I made a document. I don't know what Google account that ended up under, so I'm having to switch around and stuff. Yeah, I don't know where that document went. Maybe the stream ended and I just deleted it and I was like, get out of here.
I think you sent me a link to it on.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, that's an easy way to get access to it. One moment. But yeah, we did something like 19 games, and the sheer amount of shit. Here we go. Oh, it's a Google Doc. That's why it's not Sheets. It's not a spreadsheet like everything else. So we did Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. We did Devil May Cry 5 in the original's normal mode and the PS5 Pro's ray traced mode, which the ray tracing is so optimal now, it can basically run at 60.
Yeah, it's really funny. Basically, the running meme of that whole stream is to go from one to the other and be like, yeah, that's still the same game. Still looks great.
It's they were leading me with questions like Columbo does. They would be like, "Oh, that's great. That's nice. You got any puddles?"
Yes.
I'm real parched and I want to look at a puddle right now. Every game we boot, they're just like, "How are the puddles?"
Yeah, it's like everything became the Spider-Man one. Like, I need to look at the puddles.
I mean, puddles are all I've been thinking about. I just keep thinking, like, did it fix Silent Hill 2?
Instead, it made them so much worse.
God, yeah.
Oh my god.
Demon Souls, that was actually pretty nice.
Impossible.
But the problem is, and this is sad, I'm like 6 feet away from the TV. I literally moved my desk closer, moved the TV closer to us, and now I can barely tell the difference between the performance mode originally there and the new PS5 Pro mode that runs at 60 and is like PS5 Pro optimized. Chat, you know that thing about like, well, in order to notice all the detail in 4K, you need a TV this big and to sit this close. I hate those people. Those are the same people who are like, you can't see above 30 frames per second. They're blind. But for once, chat, I hate to say it, I think they're right. I think I need a 77-inch TV to see the fucking difference. What a stupid world we live in.
But 8K makes sense, right?
8K
Yeah,
makes
what a
total
stupid
sense.
box. What a stupid fucking piece of consumer electronics that is perhaps worth nothing, much less $700.
That was perhaps the funniest part of the Modern Vintage Gamer review is when he goes, I think PS5, the PS6 is really going to be when 8K matters. And I'm just like,
No,
it's not.
It's nothing.
I just had that experience with 4K.
Yeah, we still haven't hit the max potential of 4K.
Not even close.
Right.
No one has an 8K TV. They used to have more 8K screens, and now they have fewer. The flagship TVs aren't 8K anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, do you have that button on Easy Access?
Which one?
The one that played all the time during that stream.
Oh, no, but I could just play that sound. I'm not sure how I haven't made that like a sound on our soundboard for Big Thing Dimension,
Right?
Frankly. Yeah, we have a dedicated PS5 Pro sound that was going off a lot on that stream. The best part is when people would hit it before we like had even like they didn't know which console was which. We would show the first PlayStation 5. They wouldn't know whether it was Pro or not, and they would just hit it. And I'll be like, guys, you don't know. You don't. This could be the normal. It wasn't. Never was. What did I call this sound on my hard drive? Did I just call it? There we go. Let's see if it works. Wake up. We gonna work for today?
The biggest fucking waste of your hard-earned money to come along in years.
Yeah, so anyway, that was an accurate description.
Yeah.
We played Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster's demo, which in fact had PS5 Pro. We were amazed because the difference was obvious, and we all just went, wait, we would have noticed the reflections. Because they put reflections on every piece of glass, including a random part of an AC unit they put glass on it, and we were all like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. Why is
there's no fucking glass inside an AC unit.
Right?
Why the hell is that there? And we all just kept losing it. So yeah, they upgraded the game's graphics by adding reflections to things and maybe ruined the art in several places.
Don't worry, that whole edition seems to be about ruining the art to begin with.
Yeah, it's actually worth watching the Kroby Cat video, especially if you skip to the later parts where it is detail difference, because apparently the Dead Rising remaster, Deluxe remaster, that's the name, DRDR, removes particle effect systems for blood entirely, removes a lot of the physics of the game, has zombies clip through solid objects nonstop, like the collision doesn't work at all, gets rid of the fall state for zombies, like there's no physics to them falling anymore, they're just in the walking animation and then vertically go down.
They also got rid of every single fucking reflective surface in the original game.
Yeah, they got rid of all the planar reflections, and just to fucking add salt to the wound, chat, the Kroby Cat video boots the Wii version, which has the reflections.
One thing that blew my mind, almost all of the textures were just upscaled with AI and look terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it broke a lot of the text.
Yeah.
What was it? New releases got changed to new releasers because it thought the final E was an R. Because of AI upscaling.
Like, just looking at that, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, Yakuza Kiwami was fine because those games all, like, it hadn't significantly increased in fidelity across the entire franchise. Everybody else just looks the same, and Frank is now this weird high-fidelity monster.
There's only one upgrade, I think, in the entire remake. And that's they replaced a random guy's voice actor with Kenpachi. I was like, oh shit, that's Kenpachi. It was like frame one, just said something, and I'm like, ooh. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, the texture upscaling is real bad. I remembered seeing on Twitter the other day how it turned chocolate milk into odium.
Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of text messed up. There's even ones where it's just literally broken. Like, you can see random parts of the texture, like, jump back and forth between two colors.
Yeah, it's like a diagonal slat, where it'd be one texture and then another texture. Like, it just broke entirely. Which that happens sometimes with AI upscaling. It just hard breaks.
And they put that in there. They've released that. That's like
$50.
Yeah.
The original version's $10. Anyways, so this is the exact thing I'm talking about when I say the himboification of video games, because early 7th gen, they actually tried really hard on a bunch of different systems, like physics and other things that we just don't try on anymore, like at all.
Yeah, that's why Zelda last year was so incredible.
Right. And why a bunch of people responded to that by going, my entire degree in game development college
was to never do this.
Is to never do any of this. Anyway, we booted Rise of the Ronin. Bob, any thoughts as a Rise of the Ronin head?
Man, that sure should have improved more. Still has weird issues, and oh my god, that universal global lighting.
Oh yeah, because
terrible.
What they do is, how do I put this? So there are shadows on the ground, and they have a day-night system. And I thought the PS5 Pro version was breaking when we tried it the day before. But apparently the whole game is just hard-coded where it will do like every 5 or 10 seconds, it'll just notch, notch, notch. And what'll happen is you'll watch the shadows just jump.
Yeah.
And they're insanely low res. I'm like, wow, $70.
Yeah, I don't know why they felt the need for day-night cycle to happen. Like,
this is an open world game.
Like, even if you're doing open world, just do like Spider-Man 1. Be like, oh, it's hard set. It's daytime. Or in this mission, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Like, you clearly, it was not something you achieve on your engine to actually have this dynamic cycle.
It's very true. Real quick, though, I want to talk about the Pro did increase the performance of Returnal. If it dropped a frame, I didn't really notice. And that's good. It also buffed the performance of Strangers of Paradise.
Yes.
Strangers of Paradise, it did drop frames, but really not that often. It was actually surprising to see that game running well. I didn't expect that. That thing, as PC gamers have said, has major performance issues even on PC.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to see it run pretty smoothly overall, and it seemed like the performance issues were like traversal based more than anything else. Like it wasn't, because in the original game you like grab the crystal and then shatter, right?
Right.
That would just make it shit frames in the original. It's like, well, it looks really cool, so it's worth it, and you're invincible during this, and you can't do anything during this, so it's whatever. It held steady on like all that basically, and it was just like, oh, we're going from this area to that area, and it's gonna shit some frames, and it would be not always completely out of the combat zone when it would happen, but it largely smoothed it over, so that was nice. So basically, the three were Returnal, Strangers of Paradise, and what was that third game we played where it buffed the performance? Damn, I just had it in my head where it was like, I mean, yes, you could say Devil May Cry 5's ray tracing mode, but you know what else buffs that? Turning off ray tracing mode. But yeah, overall, Elden Ring. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Yeah, so it's cool to see these buff the performance of the few, and that's like the story of the PS5 Pro, right? Most of the games run at 60 this gen. If they're made right, they run at 60 this gen. So to fix the performance problems is a weird proposition, because largely there aren't performance problems. We're looking at edge cases specifically. And if it's to increase the fidelity, that's dependent on how much ray tracing is in it and how much you could crank it up on the Pro and how much I'll even notice that. And then TAA, swapping that out for the pisser thing is dependent on the implementation the dev does looking good, unlike Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, it's a bad sign when you need an update to fix the game. That's already like a step too far. Like there's stuff like Passive Gods, I don't think it's getting an update. There's lots of stuff that's already out. I don't think we'll get an update.
Which is a shame, because it's easier to implement pisser than it is checkerboard rendering or any of the PS4 specific technologies. It wouldn't have been easy to patch a game to add HDR. In fact, I don't think a single game did that.
Oh yeah, probably not. Except maybe Horizon.
That came out after the PS4 Pro, so you can't.
I thought it was right before, because
they were just shown off at the same event.
Okay.
Yeah, that was early 2017, and the Pro came out late 2016, if my numbers are correct. Yeah. I thought it was really funny when Mass Effect Andromeda was basically shown off for the first time at the PS4 Pro event.
Oh god, it was.
They were like, here's some gameplay of that, and I'm like, this doesn't tell me shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's one of the worst looking games that's on the PS4, I think.
Tekken 8 really needs an update, and I don't think it's getting it, because they're so bad about that over there.
God, their support sucks so much.
They never updated 7 at all, so no, I feel like it's almost, it must be like an ideological,
which is insane, because the PC, 1, it's Unreal Engine 5, 2, or 4 probably, 2, and more importantly, the PC version supports all sorts of different TAA solutions.
Of course, and they're updating the game constantly because they're releasing new characters. Like we're on the year 1 of this game.
Yeah, but the PS4 Pro version of Tekken 7 is 1080p forever, and there is no 1X version.
Yeah, no, it was too late.
So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say that should basically wrap up our segment here on the PS5 Pro.
Now that everyone's left.
Yeah, go away. No, I think people want to hear this from us of all people, because we're not worried about relations with Sony.
No.
We actually bought the thing. I am both technically inclined enough but reasonable enough to identify and then reject the value of what it's doing. The only other thing we didn't cover is that weird, it can enhance some PS4 titles. The way it does that is like a machine learning upscale to make it look sharper on your display. And that honestly does look nice in a way even the capture card couldn't show, which is unfortunate. But it doesn't work on every game. It only works on PS4 games that are 1080p or lower. So if you have a pro version of a game, it won't work, to the point where Tekken 7 won't be affected. That machine learning upscaling literally won't work on Tekken 7, despite the fact its resolution's 1080p.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
So it's cool. I honestly would leave that feature on. There's only one game they found that breaks because of it, and it's amazing. Have you seen the clip?
No.
Just Cause 3 straight up fucking breaks with that on, where the geometry at random stops rendering.
What? That's incredible.
So
Give me more knobs. I want to break these
I want more knobs. I want to break it so many different ways. But yeah, after much thought and knowing how much I hate TA, I'm keeping the console. That doesn't mean I think it's a good value, even for me. God. If I were to be perfectly, brutally honest, I think there's a mildly different timeline in which I simply reject the notion of playing any new game.
Yeah.
That's going to be next year.
Yeah, it's called 2025. And then I'm going to be like, guys, I have the Pro. I got to use it on something. And everyone's like, we're not playing it.
I mean, next year we'll be playing new games on the Nintendo Switch 2, and they'll be made by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making it even more farcical.
Dan with like his teeth clenched and tears streaming down his face as the AAA shit fest comes out the same day as a new 3D Mario.
And here's... Yeah, you're all like, we're playing the 3D Mario, but Dan, you have the Pro. You got to play Immortals of Aveum 2.
It's like some fucking cartoon bit. All four of us are in line at the same store to get a Switch 2. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, Dan. You bought the PS5 Pro. We're not legally allowed to sell you a Switch 2.
There was a dude who worked at our local GameStop where every time entering it, he would just offer me a shit video game. And he would call me Master, my last name.
Uh-huh.
And it was very funny. That would be the exact dude in this cartoon running the counter to be like, oh, yes, Mr. Video Games. We have a game for you. It's called Immortals of Aveum 2. I've pre-ordered it on your account. It's already in your cart.
For some reason, I fiercely believe that Immortals of Aveum 2, like the official box art logo, would just replace one of the letters in Avium with a 2, but I can't figure out which one it would be.
It's the E. I think we could all agree. Either that or the T in Immortals.
I don't know.
Is Avium spelled with an E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I would
know. I spent $70 on the game. What?
They're going to go outside the box. It's going to be the V, and they're going to turn the 2 a little bit sideways, so it looks like it's almost making a V shape.
Is it scaled up too?
It's not going to be that, Bob. They have to save that. They have to save that for Immortals of Aveum 5, where they can just bold the V and like make it a different color.
No, I think Bob's onto something. Like they have the regular V, but then they do like a brush stroke to finish out the 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And people are
it looks hideous, and everyone's like, that was a mistake.
And
they just have to introduce it with an animated title drop so you get what you're looking at.
So here's the thing, though. If you remove the 2 from the title, you can't just sell a game that says Immortals of Aveum and has a brushstroke. You need a subtitle now.
Ooh.
So we're talking about the worst named game of all time. It would be like Immortals of Aveum, Discord of Congruity. And we'd be like, you just had a stroke. That's
you see, Immortals of Aveum was about the Ever War.
Yeah.
So it'll be Immortals of Aveum 2, Never War.
Yeah!
Time travel sequel, let's go!
So Dan is the only person who in humanity of all humans who might even conceivably remember any aspect of Immortals of Aveum's story.
Yeah, I was literally going to ask Bob, which was the character who was just racist? Because there was a bigoted character
lady,
that
right?
just disappeared.
Yes, that was
it was Muscle Mommy.
Yeah, it was the muscle lady.
Yeah.
The main thing I think about when I think about that game happens like within 20 minutes of booting it. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, all we can eat is this, and they throw down this bag of black slop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like, do you actually eat that? Is this a joke? I am not sure.
I don't know this world well enough yet to see if this is a great meal or a bad meal.
I'm not misremembering. Like I'm making up. I'm not correct when I recall the world of Immortals of Aveum being like a giant donut, right? and like it has the portal in the center, and then every country is around it in a circle.
Yeah, I think that's right.
What a stupid thing! They weren't cooking shit. They were cooking nothing.
No. Oh my God, I forgot. Spiff says, I remember when you had to craft an insult that you never used later.
Yeah, that did happen.
Man, that was stupid.
What a
That was
horrible
really
fucking
stupid.
game.
I honestly, all I ever think about with that game is that character just being like, just so you know, I'm a bigot. And then just disappears from the story. And we're like, what happened with...
Yeah, and
Okay.
she came back and then, like, nothing was a problem with it. Like, he was actually your bud. She got over it, I guess.
that game.
I'm also thinking about this makes me think about how I was like, man, I played Concord for like 2 hours during that beta.
Mm-hmm.
I have statistically played more of Concord than most humans on Earth ever will.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
I think about that a lot.
That's locked in. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only 25,000 people that could even potentially have played more than you.
Right.
And there's a good chance that they were busy. So they didn't.
You are statistically in like the top 0.0001% of humanity in terms of Concord playtime.
I feel like we're starting a CBS series script here.
1 second. I'm just gonna get something real quick.
We need like some really pathetic and wistful documentary where we like go around, and it's all farcical, of course. It's all fucking pre-scripted.
Uh-huh.
Where we just go around and film interviews with people who purport to be Concord fans. Like, it's all made up. We just make like it's almost like a Borat movie where we just make up these ludicrous caricatures for Concord fans.
So
And it's just all of them being like, for that 1 week, the world seemed like it made sense.
So then the question is, Bob,
Yeah.
knowing that and then crossing that over with having played this. Oh, it's not appearing. Paragon.
Uh-huh.
How rare of a gamer are we for
Well,
having
Paragon
done
now
that?
is just available. Anyone can go play Paragon. It's not special
Are you
anymore.
sure that's still up? I wouldn't
One
be
of
so
the three
bold as
versions,
to.
I'm sure is.
Well, yeah, but it won't be Paragon. It'll be some other thing they made out of Paragon with the assets from Paragon called Paragon. And I'm not even sure it'll be a MOBA.
No, that thing I played like 2 weeks ago, or like, I guess a month ago,
Okay.
was very much, oh, this is Paragon.
So it was there when you last checked.
I was there when
but
I
we
last-
don't know about now.
It's true.
These things absolutely just appear and disappear.
Yeah.
I can't pull out the Concord beanie. It's pre-order only. Not that I would buy it, Baka. I don't just like beanies more than hats because I can actually wear them with my massive fucking skull. I do regret not playing Radical Heights. I do regret that.
I remember downloading it and never booting it.
Yep.
But
Jeez.
I played a decent bit of that thing before it. What was it?
What was that? Are you talking about the one that was...
Crime Break.
No.
Uh,
What's the name of Cliffy B's shooter that came out? Lawbreakers.
Lawbreakers. I was close.
Yeah.
Crime Break is pretty close to Lawbreakers.
Yeah. Except for one of these sounds American and the other sounds Japanese.
Yeah.
6th gen Japanese.
Predecessor, that is the new version of Paragon,
Mm-hmm.
has 10 times the peak players Concord ever did. So it's a lot less rare than Concord.
But
There
it's
we
one. That's not Paragon though. This is Paragon. Look, for 1 second I thought the disc was gone. No, it's the disc is. I was looking at the spindle though, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was never real. What the fuck?
That's what happens if you kept your copy of Concord. That's what happens to it. You just open it and it's they were secretly made with those weird rental discs that all failed, where like they delete themselves once they're exposed to oxygen.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
Did you
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I thought it would just be Sony agents come by to every home.
And they shoot it with a ray gun. They just shoot it with a ray gun and it deletes it.
Dan opens his copy of Concord and there's no disc, and then suddenly Herman Holst is there and he's like, when did you fall under the impression I wasn't already using Kyoka Suigetsu?
Oh, know. What a hype moment that would be. That would really inspire a lot of people to become Holstomaniacs. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about that fucking $848 console that's sitting over there. And for anyone who somehow missed, like, maybe you're completely new to Big Think Dimension, keep in mind, still the only reason I went through with it is that Tosh gets my launch PS5, my girlfriend. So she gets a console to play video games like the Tomorrow Children at a high frame rate on. And she doesn't have to come in here and, like, turn this off and stop my save and, like, any number of complications that happens when you stream for a living and you're trying to binge things for Game of the Year. She deserves nice things. Maybe I don't deserve that nice of a thing with that nice or professional of a price.
I'm messed up because I'm always thinking that was that Hinamori edit, but was Tosh. I'm like, no.
Wait, which one?
The Hinamori stab by gets.
God damn it! 7 Toshes with a PS5 Pro through the chest.
Yes, it's messed up. Colonel, how could you?
I hate chugging bleach. These are the worst memes. I want them gone.
Yeah, them being like a decade old.
And most people don't even get them.
Yeah.
Most people stopped watching before the bout arc finished. Oh, whatever. Anyway. Wait, you didn't sell your old PS5 to your significant other for $500 like the Dreamcast guy? I have no idea what human you are inventing, chat. And I'm going to convince myself you're inventing them. They're not real. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. I think we're good to move on from the PS5 Pro. I literally look at this fucking console as a defense against the dark arts. That's literally how I look at it. It's like, well, if there was ever a prayer the TAA wouldn't look bad, I might as well have this so then I can be indignant. Just be like, oh, but I bought the console that shouldn't have this fucking problem right now. And here I am having this problem, developer. Anyway, let's move on. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Aggro.
Hey, Dan.
I've been playing Romancing Saga 2 Remake.
Cool.
Worth noting, just gonna hit this fun little button over here, so that way you can all just distrust me.
Game code provided by Square Enix.
Yo, that game's fucking good. That game is excellent. I played like 6 hours of that game. That game instant. This is how you know a game is good. When you play it, and within like a few short hours, you start getting sad that it will end. That is when you know you're playing a damn good time. Like, that is an excellent fucking video game. It's got such a brutality and speed to the combat that I did not expect. In case you didn't know, Bob, the thing with Romancing Saga 2.
Okay.
A thing, but the cool thing, in my opinion, you know, in a normal RPG, it's like, okay, you get in a battle and like someone dies, you resurrect them with a Phoenix Down, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to use a special item to bring people back. You can just heal them.
Okay, yeah.
But they lost a life point forever, and they only got like 12, and they'll be fucking dead if you let them hit the ground 12 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So every battle feels really high stakes.
Super
that carries
Nintendo
over
game.
that carries over into Romancing Saga, not Romancing Saga, Saga Frontier 1 and 2, but I think you can give them their life points back in that one.
Yeah, I think there's a very limited way to do it.
The game
in
has,
Saga Frontier 1 and 2, you could just fucking do it, I think. I think it was a lot easier.
in Romancing Saga 2, they have been like, there exists in the world a thing that could give them life points back, but there are not many. And I'm like, that is a menacing thing to tell me as a player.
And they tell you kind of deep into that game that's what those numbers mean. It's like, what? This wasn't a hologram the whole time? I could die?
There is mild spoilers for the opening of Romancing Saga 2. The main gimmick of the game is the magic of, I believe it's called inheritance, where you inherit the abilities and proficiencies of your predecessor. So it's literally like, yeah, you died, but at least your heir got the thing. Your fucking allies don't get that buff. Like, they're just gonna fucking die.
Oh.
That's the impression I left under. So it is really tense because my main character is losing life points ever, and that makes me nervous. So I rerun a cave before I take on the big bad boss.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty simple. It goes pretty clean. I think Spiff and Voxandra from Voxandra.gay were correct that maybe you want to play in the classic difficulty, because I thought it was a pretty fun and easygoing time on classic. So the normal difficulty must be brain dead. Things I like about that game: runs really great, has great assets and stuff. Like, it's made by the Trials of Mana people, the Trials of Mana remake people.
Okay, yeah.
So it has like that. It looks better from a execution of the character design to a 3D model than Visions of Mana does. Because you know how Visions of Mana is like, they all have the same like Cabbage Patch head, and it's really unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, this really definitely executes its character designs better, and I think they look really nice. I'm playing on the PS5 Pro, I guess. Yeah, I guess worth saying. There may be some performance problems on the regular. I don't know. However, it does do that thing if someone's like, I don't know, 15 feet out, 20 feet out, they run at like half frame rate. It's really unsettling, though, because it's updating their position on the field at full frame rate. So you'll just see them do this and then be like smooth. Weird. And it can drop down to a 4th frame rate, too. But overall, I really like this execution of a SNES RPG brought to life in 3D yet again, just like it did with Trials of Mana. I do enjoy the combat a lot. When you hit enemies with a weakness, it will just, above them at all times, have a weakness checkbox thing just to show you like, oh, they're weak to this, they're weak to that. And much like the newer Pokemon games, it will just, when you're selecting your move, be like weak next to it to let you know which thing. It won't tell you which ones are double weak. It has the icons. Just pay attention. But it all results in a very fast, brutal combat thing. And of course, you're doing the Saga-esque thing of sparking new move types.
Oh, okay.
It will have a light bulb next to a move that can spark a new move type. So it's much nicer than it was back when it came out originally. Because, of course, they didn't fucking give you an idea with that all the way back then. Yeah, it's really excellent. Also, the music's great. And you know it's great because I have no nostalgia for the soundtrack of Romancing Saga 2.
Right.
Like, I have none. I didn't fucking play it. It didn't come out here. And I don't know how long it took them to get a translation patch for that game, but
I don't even know if it did. I assume at some point, but
at some point it must have. It's Romancing Saga 2. At some point it must have gotten a translation patch, but I don't actually know. But I didn't play that back in the day. This soundtrack's a banger, though. It's real good, just solid from the get. Really good remixes, you can tell, and really solid original compositions back then. I'm having a great time with this game. There's really cool stuff. You're pretty pissed at these 7 heroes. Not sure if you heard, they're pieces of garbage. It is unclear why they're pieces of garbage. I look forward to getting to the bottom of this mystery, because already on the way to defeat the first of the 7 heroes, I got a flashback to events that don't seem to line up with the state of the world. So I'm very curious what that could have meant. I'm excited to get to the bottom of why these people are called the 7 heroes if they're all fucking garbage. And possibly all literal monsters. I don't know. That first one definitely was. Yeah, no, this game's great. Highly recommended. There's a demo. Try the demo. See if Romancing Saga 2 is right for you.
You get to the end of it, and like, yeah, every single one of them is just the mana goddess wouldn't save their wife. She just wouldn't do it.
Most 2024's most loathsome bitch, mana goddess.
Every few years, we just have to send her a few people's wives to replenish her mana.
I hate saying that. I think she might take the category.
Yeah, no, it's true. If that category exists, it can go to no one else.
Okay, well, whatever you do, I'm going to go save the world. You protect my wife. Huh? Oh, he just left. Well, it probably wasn't that important.
Back to day drinking.
But yeah, Romancing Saga 2, excellent time. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really glad I started playing it. I love when Square Enix sends me a code for an RPG that I fucking love. Because there sure was a running bit with us of they denied Live Alive. I think they did Live Alive, but they denied Star Ocean 2 Remake and something else. And I'm like, do they just not give me RPGs that I might like? Like, that was a running meme for a bit on GigaBoots. Oh, man. Be critical of Final Fantasy 16, will you? We won't send you the Star Ocean 2 remake. And I'm like, yeah, because those are the same thing. You fucking nailed it. But of course, it's random. It doesn't actually connect to anything.
No.
But it's just really funny to build that narrative. I really do recommend this, and it's not a huge RPG. So if you can make time for like a 40-ish hour RPG, like, because Spiff spent 45 hours playing the game, and he did basically everything. This is a good one. I know Dragon Quest III HD 2D just came out. Yeah, it's okay. You got time. You don't have to do a Game of the Year ceremony. Did you know that? You do, actually, Bob, by the way.
Oh, no.
You have to play both of these in time.
Yeah, it's nothing but Adam. It's
So
nothing but
many.
RPGs from now all the way down to fucking the end of the year, Bob.
Yep. Rip.
It's rough. I would like some variety.
Yep. Sorry. That's all they made this year.
You're supposed to release these in like February, my guy. Come on.
Right?
Don't worry, there's more coming out in February.
Oh, yeah. I think that's when Phantom Brave 2 comes out.
Trails Through Daybreak comes out on fucking Valentine's Day. Trails Through Daybreak 2.
Yeah, I ain't finishing the first one in time. Are you crazy?
Dynasty Warriors is coming out in January, and I'm worried that Phantom Brave was also coming out in January.
It might be. It might be right on top of it.
Oh, no.
Let me check the horrible future ahead of us.
I can move on. Bob, did you have any other questions about Romancing Saga 2 Remake? Do you have any Saga-oriented questions? Like, is this a game for normal humans?
Sure. Is this a game for normal humans?
I would actually say it is.
Okay, because I still haven't tried that demo. I downloaded it and I intend to give it a shot. But this would be the first Saga game I actually try.
I think you would enjoy orders of magnitude more than Saga Frontier, because Saga Frontier sure is a weird thing. We did that giving games a chance a while ago, and I grew up with Saga Frontier,
right.
So it being encrypted was a well-known thing to me.
Right, and I rented that several times and never understood it, and I still was like, "Yep, I see what you're doing."
Yeah, even
That's the
yeah,
thing.
Go ahead.
I had to just accept. I will look up a guide and get through this time.
Whereas this
'Cause there
doesn't
sure
have that
is-
feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And
This,
I assume that it doesn't start with choose your character. It's just
no.
go.
No. Yeah.
That helps.
Uh-huh. Also,
Yeah,
you play as like the lamest dude ever. It's very funny. Everyone's making fun of him, and it's great. You basically start the game as this prince who's the lame prince. Like, your brother is absolutely the Chad. And you go around the castle, and everyone who does all this training for all the militia and stuff, you basically have to go, "Oh, I can't do that. I suck. Oh." And I'm like, this is the funniest main character of an RPG ever. I hope he never changes. Unfortunately, he does improve. That's really regrettable. I would have.
You, Dan, need to play Manachemia because
That bad, huh?
Well, here, one, the main character's like that. Two, he's fucking Liam O'Brien doing a twink voice.
How's that even work?
I need to know.
He manages.
That's great. That sounds awesome. But I would have loved hearing my main character be a wuss for 40 hours of RPG and just stats-wise also sucking shit. That would have been great. Anyways, I'm going to hit this button again.
Game code provided by Square Enix.
I love the times where I don't have to cut it off and then say the correct publisher. Yeah. Try the demo. Legit. It's on the Switch. It's on PS5. I'm pretty sure that demo's also on PC. Try the demo. It's really excellent. I'm ready to move on, though. I've also been playing web fishing. Aggro. Chris, have you even heard of web fishing?
Not
I've heard
since
of
you
it.
posted it.
Okay. For people who don't know, web fishing is a $5 game on Steam made by one developer in like 5 months. It is literally, what if I just took the fishing from Animal Crossing and that's the whole game? You have all sorts of upgradable stats with your rods and stuff, getting better lures, getting better bait, getting better rods, getting better reel speeds, and you fish. It has an online lobby system. It's very multiplayer. It's got room codes. You can use Steam in order to just, it's got that Steam integration where you right-click your friend's name and you like hit join game and it just goes straight in. It's a very enjoyable time. I have caught almost every fish. I played 16 hours in a 24-hour span of time.
Jesus.
This is a really fun game. It even looks like a DS Animal Crossing. Like you've seen it.
Yeah, no, it's very low res.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of customization options for like your character that you start with a few and then you unlock more and more and more. They have titles in the game, by the way. They launched the game and some people got upset that gay, pan, and queer were, and I think bi were titles you could use. They were like, how come there's no straight title? So they put a straight title in. It costs $9,999 and there are quotation marks around the word straight. That's really great. You also get insane titles based on what fish you get some of the time. So, for example, I was in a lobby and multiple people around me got the insanely hard to get golden fish. There's golden manta ray and golden bass. And the title for that is 9 words long. So it's just outstripping the size of your name insanely. And both of them put it on and sat next to me. And I was like, fuck off. How about you just fuck off? This game's really enjoyable. It's $5. Do you like fishing? You might like this. I like fishing, and I like this. There's also a metal detector, kind of like an Animal Crossing, where you can just take it and go across the island and see if there's buried treasure.
Yeah.
I see this as a game where apparently the dev made this. They made the game idea in 1 month, like a year or so ago, and then this year spent 4 months just polishing it just to release it and get done with it. Mm-hmm. And they didn't expect it to take off like it did, so they already apologized for a lot of the things about it. They're like, I'm sorry, I'm fixing it. One of them was they didn't expect the griefers. They didn't expect people who just bash in every room code at all times to join a lobby.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're working on that stuff. Things, honestly, it's good enough as it is. I don't think I'm playing this game going, oh, this is coming up so short in this way or that way, like a lot of games that exact story happens to, where it's just like, oh, an indie dev made this, and so it's not like a cohesive whole thing. Like, no, the scope of this is so small that it really is the whole idea. The whole idea is there. And priced appropriately at $5, right? I think it's a really rare thing to get all of those factors where it's like the scope is perfectly priced, the price is perfectly priced, and then like you don't have that experience of like this part of it's really, really not done. Like, no, it is exactly what you would think. And it's really enjoyable. I highly recommend web fishing. I've put even more time into it. I'm only missing 2 fish now: the golden manta ray and lead sickness, which is a bastard you can only find, spoilers for web fishing, one moment.
God.
You can only fish it up when it's raining. There's a lure that has a small chance to proc rain. You must stand under the rain cloud. There are like a total of 5 fish in this game that are bastards. And I got all the other ones except for the golden manta ray and this bastard, so. Web fishing is really cool. I highly recommend it. The only problem with this game, the controls for a controller are insane.
Oh, yeah?
So here's how you fish in web fishing. I'm going to describe it on a mouse and keyboard first. You walk around with WASD. You turn the camera by right-clicking and moving, kind of like an MMO.
Okay.
And then you left-click to start to reel up and then throw it out. And when you catch a fish, you left-click a bunch, and the rod is like a meter that you pressing and holding will fill, but there are click gates with a number next to them, and you need to click that number of times, or if you have a higher power, fewer times, based on, like, my rod power is like 35 or something. You start at 1. That many times in order to break through that gate and then keep filling it. That seems really translatable to a controller, right?
Yeah, that's
what if it was done
simple
by a madman? So R2 is the button you use to throw out your rod and you need to bash. So it's triggers on every modern controller but the Switch.
What?
To move the camera, you hold L1. Why would you do that? I have a right analog stick.
What? This seems like I've never touched a controller before.
Yeah, they must have been a big fan of the DS Animal Crossing and never even played it on any other version or something. There's got to be some explanation for how they didn't understand.
Maybe Godot's hard to get controller work, so they're like, it's done. Ship it.
Which that's a cool thing. This game is very well optimized. It's using Godot. It's using the Godot engine. It runs at 4K, 240 frames per second really easily. It's using like 10% of my 4090 or something to do that. I think this shit should come to the Switch 2. This should be a Switch 2 launch title. It would do gangbusters. People would be elated. So they need to like they need to fix those controls. They need to make it so the right analog stick always moves the camera, because the notion is the mouse shouldn't always move the camera because you will be bashing the left click button. And so it would constantly be whipping the camera, and that would be bad. That's not how a controller works.
No.
If I'm hitting X over and over, which, by the way, the correct button to set this to, then I won't be hitting the analog stick. We'll be fine. You can fix that, I promise. But yeah, that's the only problem with the game. Just really weird normal controls. Controller controls. Aside from that, mouse and keyboard, it's fine. Really fun time, really easy to use. It's good. Good. They should fix those controls. But aside from that, I'm done talking about web fishing. That was a great time. $5.
Cool.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
What else you been playing?
I played a few things.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to start with the thing I played today. They released the Halo 2 dig site demo.
Yeah, they did.
Which
what's the deal with that?
It's the E3 demo for Halo 2. Then now it's playable.
Oh.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, that was like the big anniversary thing this year. Like, hey, I don't know what your anniversary is for Halo, but there was some big one. They're like, hey, let's do this.
Well, was it for Halo 2? Yeah, then that would have been 20 years.
Okay.
Because that was 2004.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is literally that demo. Just you can walk around it. It's not even like using the modern version of anything. Like the guns don't work right. They work in a way that you would work for a demo like this. Like the battle rifle only shoots one shot at a time. You don't have to reload it. The double Uzis just shoot both at the same time. You don't use different buttons for it or anything for left and right.
Okay.
It's just the both fire. And then you can walk through this little thing. It's only like 15 minutes or so.
Right.
Because that's how long that demo was. But it's fun just to be able to walk off and be like, yeah, that's sure is
Not done.
Don't turn around.
Yeah, because for people who don't know, that demo was so fragile that they were like, if we were off on our camera rotation by 5 degrees, it would crash. That is how walking on thin ice that entire E3 demo was. So it's really funny to be like, well, running on a modern system, it's fine. It's not done still.
Yeah, no, it's more than 120 frames per second, but
hell yeah. I'm honestly surprised they still had the assets and things from this.
Yeah, apparently they dug up some of them they had themselves, and there's also credits to random like people.
Dope.
Yeah, so I guess they had to piece this together from things.
I assume the cutscene's still there, right? Like the very ending cutscene where it's just like, bet you can't stick them. You're on.
There's still a lot of power to this. I wish something like this happened in the game.
Oh, I was like, with modern Halo, yes, I agree. Oh, in that game specifically, also yes, I agree.
Yeah, like there's just something about those events and that sequence that is so strong, and we don't do anything like it. So it's more ambitious because it's so scripted. Like
remember when games were like that, where they weren't just open world tool generated slop? Scripted things in video games are really based, actually. We should get back to that. A modern Uncharted would blow some fucking minds.
It would. But yeah,
imagine a game that had money and was only like 10 hours long, so you got that money mainlined into you instead of
spent on some person in a town standing there doing something you'll never even notice.
It sucks so bad that like the price gap between like it can't. We've somehow reached the point where making like the actual content is the cheapest part by a lot.
because you made a system to just churn it out. Yeah.
Because all the assets cost a fucking fortune, and then the fucking systems to run them cost a fortune, and then it's like, well, we got to make 80 hours of bandit camps.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I think if they just made another Uncharted, that would blow some fucking minds, because when's the last thing that was Uncharted shaped even shipped? I don't know.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah, the expansion to Uncharted 4, or
even
whatever
that.
the name. Oh,
even that wasn't Uncharted shaped.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
like, not
Uncharted 4. So 7 years.
Yeah, that's like bookended with Uncharted shaped things, but in the middle, it's not.
Here's a weird flashback moment. I remember when a graphics engineer left 343 to come over to Naughty Dog to work on Uncharted 4.
Huh.
And then a bunch of people got real toxic. She was a lady.
Of course, that would do it. And it's great.
2014 was a great time.
Interesting thing, the segment where you...
One second. Please hold on to that. I look over at chat. Hellblade 2, smiley face. Yeah, that's very Uncharted 4. Remember that part in Uncharted 4 everyone loved where he just moped into a corner and got sad?
Yeah, I was so impressed. when they tried to curl up in a ball and got sad.
Every epic sequence was in fact him in the fetal position.
And then immediately followed by a really bad visual puzzle.
I mean,
that involved me just walking around an area.
That's the most fitting thing, frankly. Out of all of this, it was just like, here's your break dead puzzle, solve it. Anyways, what were you actually going to say?
No, the ones in Uncharted are impressive. The ones in Hellblade are laughable.
Yes.
It's like match the shapes, whereas Uncharted's like, oh, pull out your book and look for the shapes. And it's actually modeled in the environment instead of just something you plastered on lighting.
Yeah, instead of a shadow cast by a thing.
Yeah. But anyway, in this, there's the Warthog segment.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let you jump off the Warthog because they know that it'll just break.
Oh, that's funny.
Like you try and get out and he just immediately goes back in.
Oh, that's really funny.
Constantly, like every few seconds, if you aren't doing something, I'll be like, map marker, this is where you should go.
That's great. Man, this is cool that they released this.
Yeah, no, it's really great. It's funny how a lot of the voice lines in this stuff still give me tingles. Like it's good stuff.
Yeah. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, great thing. I'm really glad that this is the most positive Halo feelings I have for Halo in years.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, one moment. Let me try to remember the last time I felt positive about Halo. Oh, God, it was 3. Because ODST, we all knew it was an expansion pack that had been price gouged to $60 because of Microsoft. Reach, we knew it was the final Bungie game.
And we knew it was a prequel, so it was less
even
hype.
More like, well, we don't even get a new story beat from them to set off anything else, or like 3 was the end. Yeah, so I think the last time I had glowing positivity around Halo as an aura was really 3. Hey, chat, that hasn't been that long, right? Becomes the meme.
But yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say about that. Oh, right, the way the ghost works is even weird. Like, nothing works quite how you think it will. It's just like, oh, this is barely holding together with sticks. I better stay on the right paths, too. You could, if you get out of the Warhog and shoot stuff with your regular gun in that other part, when it actually is like, oh, you need to switch from the Warhog to the Ghost. If you just use your regular guns there, it's like, yeah, nothing dies. Everything has way too much health points for that. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Definitely go check it out. If you have the PC version of the Master Chief Collection, you can go download this. It's on the Steam Workshop.
I just had that moment of, man, yeah, I have the PC version, so I didn't have to pay for Xbox Live. I wonder how much money Microsoft lost on their cross-PC console strategy because of people who then just moved to PC to not pay for Xbox Live.
Yeah.
For which, reminder, the 2 most profitable sectors of both Nintendo and Sony, but more especially Sony, is the part where they get to charge you rent.
Did you mean to say Microsoft and Sony?
I meant to say Nintendo and Sony because they make bank on that.
Oh, okay.
Microsoft doesn't because their numbers are crashing and also they're letting people move to PC where they don't have to.
Yeah.
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 Sony makes like all of their profit there. It's weird. What the hell happened? Anyway.
Yeah, the reason that Costco takes losses on things like the hot dog,
like the hot dog,
the roast chicken, is because they're a subscription service. In a world that made any sort of sense, the fact that Sony sucks $4 billion a year out of people should, in fucking theory, allow them to just make fucking whatever games.
Yeah.
Like it should be this enormous safety net, but of course it isn't that at all.
Like in case, like you really got to drive the analogy to its logical conclusion. Where in the PlayStation ecosystem is my $1.50 hot dog combo?
What are you
Right.
talking about? They just announced Resistance 2 for their super expensive tier.
What?
Uh-huh.
Like this to
Game
stream?
streaming.
That's not real.
Neither are hot dogs, but people still seem to enjoy them.
God damn it, aggro.
Hey, I don't know what the meat is, but it is food. It is substance. That's for sure.
That's true.
The word meat's
I
doing
think
a lot of
Costco
heavy
ones are all
lifting here.
beef.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I hear the
tastes
Costco ones are actually good.
Yeah, they're actually
Yeah,
they're pretty all right. In
yeah,
fact,
no,
I'm kind of
They-
sad
they
right
they're
now. I
probably
didn't-
better than the 99-cent foot-long coney I had from Sonic today.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And then their pizza's also really good.
Oh, hey.
It's messed up.
That's a perfect transition point to our next what we've been doing.
Oh no.
What we've been eating. Bob and I tried the Sonic Smash Burger.
God, we did.
Bob, how did you forget the iconic Sonic Smash Burger?
Gee, I just don't know.
You got the queso one, right?
I did
That
get the
was what it was-
queso and jalapeno one.
I tried the normal Sonic Smash Burger. Chat, I know I've been making smash burgers here on my griddle. That was bought by some unknown viewer. So maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't think so. These smash burgers were really just okay.
Yeah, they're really okay, and it's $7. $7
Yeah.
for a fast food hamburger.
Yeah, fast food is just in general too expensive right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, like that's unacceptable.
It's crazy to me to think, because you know damn well their smash burger's way worse for me than
Oh,
the one
yeah.
I'm making here.
Oh, absolutely.
You know 100% that's the case. So the fact it just comes in at okay is really weird
Yeah,
to me. An idiot, I suppose.
I just feel crazy when it's like, yeah, smash burger and pickle fries,
Yeah.
like $12.50.
Yeah.
That's more expensive than kava.
Yes,
Which
it
is way fancy.
And way better for you.
Yeah, way better for you, and clearly a more expensive product.
Aggro, do you know what a kava is? Same
So, like a melon?
Chris, do you know what a kava is?
No.
Okay, so I only found out when we moved here, so I
Yeah.
figured it would help because our co-hosts don't even know. That means countless
course.
viewers, probably
Of course.
99%. It's like Moe's or Chipotle, but it's for a Mediterranean bowl. You go up to the counter, the thing has the ingredients all the way down. You make a Mediterranean bowl or pita or whatever. You just keep going down the line. Their food's really good. They're like my comfort fast food.
Right.
They also have a really good soda, like insanely
do.
good soda. They have a blueberry soda. It's fucking delicious. And all these juices and shit, they're really good. So yeah, the thought of the Sonic Smash Burger with pickle fries and possibly no drink maybe
Yeah, I didn't even get a drink.
is the same price. It's a little nuts. A little nuts. Yeah, and that's where I ended up with fast food, where it's like,
Yeah,
the fast food that should be cheap isn't, so I might as well go to Kava if I'm gonna go, or not go.
Yeah.
For example, the other day I was being based. I was so based, and the people around me, they were haters because I was too based. I played 7 hours of web fishing after waking up instead of eating. And then when they finally got me to eat, because people were like, will you fucking eat before we hear your stomach growling into this microphone? I went and had the Mr. Rogers banana snack, and then they all judged me for it. Agra, have you heard about the Mr. Rogers banana snack?
I assume it's banana based.
It is. Chris, have you heard about
Is it a
the Mr.
banana
Rogers?
with peanut butter on it?
No.
Oh, that'd be too normal.
It's a banana with a slice of American cheese.
Sinful.
What?
We need to crowdfund Bob some sort of like disciplinary device.
What? It's Mr. Rogers said it was an economical and healthy, like nutritious snack. You just take a banana and you wrap a slice of American cheese around it and you eat it. Compositionally, cheese is fatty much in the same way peanut butter is. I don't see what the
Right, yeah. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cheese is a fat. And I'm like, this is from the guy who eats mayonnaise and banana sandwiches. So I'm like, that sounds, I don't have any room to talk about that.
Here's the thing. I've known about this thing for years. Years. And then somewhere around a month ago, I'm just sitting there having a banana and peanut butter. And in my head, I'm thinking, peanut butter compositionally not too dissimilar from American cheese. Oh my God, I think my curiosity is now at a point where I'm going to try it. And I tried it. And it was all right. But however, when I told the people web fishing that that's what I ate, one of them was like, Tosha's going to leave you. She's going to wake up. She's going to be like, you just fucking ate the banana snack again?
Man, Dan's going to go crazy when they bring back Gerber singles.
No, fuck you. That's horrible. Bob, do you know about Gerber singles?
I assume it's baby food.
Chris, would you?
It's like the dude wipes of baby food.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a thing from the 70s where Gerber was like, here's Gerber baby food for adults, for bachelors. It was literally Bachelor Chow. It's literally that.
There's no woman to cook for you. You need nutrition.
My God.
Dan, this whole anecdote could not have been worse timed. I currently have a sweet potato sitting in a cabinet in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And all day, I plan to bake that thing tomorrow, and all day I have been sitting on the couch playing Metaphor, thinking, kimchi would probably be good on that.
No, it would. You're absolutely right.
No, I'm convinced I'm right, but I feel like I shouldn't be.
So anyways, I feel like, I can't be judged by my co-host because they have not eaten the banana snack.
Kimchi is basically good on anything, it seems like.
I mean, kimchi's just a pickle. I use it in situations where
I'm
you
really
eat pickles
tempted to
all
get
the time.
like Captain Crunch and put kimchi on it and see how it goes.
Bob, which one would you rather eat? The kimchi sweet potato or the banana with the slice of American cheese?
The kimchi sweet potato.
Chris?
Kimchi sweet potato.
I don't have to ask Aggro. He made it clear. I don't know. I am unjudgeable. None of you have eaten the Mr. Rogers banana snack. None of you. Not one person listening to this or co-hosting this has
Is it
broken
heated?
down. No.
You just wrap a piece of banana in a slice of American cheese.
Yeah, it's like imagine it's a holster, right? So now your fingers don't have to touch the banana.
You
can
know
just
what?
hold the
Fuck you,
cheese.
Dan. I'm going to do this right now, right this second.
Yeah! Bob, if you want one, I can.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, I offered. You all saw me offer. He's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be like, you ate 2 of these? They're like, yeah, I'm hungry. For anyone who's curious, yes, I literally ate 2 of the Mr. Rogers poverty banana snack because I bought a PS5 Pro and my bank account's feeling professional. So I sat there going, well, something's got to give.
Right.
Because think about it, that shit's like not even $1 each.
That's true. Bananas are very cheap.
Bananas and American cheese are really cheap. You get like 25 in a $3 or $4 pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then bananas are insanely cheap. So it's like...
Yeah, they're like 15 cents.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, at the end of the day, I didn't think it tasted terrible. So of course I was going to do it. Now the part where that was the only thing I ate that day, because early that morning I ended up at a Hardee's and ate like the greasiest food in the world, and part of me went, I should fast. that's maybe a whole different element of this. Oh yeah, Spiff, since I know you're watching, the avocados, one of them almost went bad, the other one was eaten. There are no avocados for smash burgers tonight. If you want to solve this, go to a nearby grocery store and buy avocados for a smash burger.
Here we go.
So fucking excited. I'm changing the description of the corner.
I wish you could see the confused look on my face.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't imagine that being anything other than bizarre. Yeah.
It's texturally really bizarre.
It's texturally bizarre, but the cheese doesn't come through at all.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. The slice of American cheese just becomes a textural element to it, like an edible wrapper.
It does,
almost.
and you get maybe the tiniest little hint of American cheese afterwards.
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Tosh, Chris is live trying the Rogers banana snack.
I'm never going to do this again because why the fuck would I?
Right? Like if all you're adding from the cheese is banana, like just eat the banana.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's really just a banana with like this weird new textural element that kind of is bad because it's American cheese that's just cold.
Well, it rounds out the nutrition because it gives you fat, which is actually a good thing to have, like in moderation. So, like, it makes it more what I've always found the sating, its satiety goes
Satiating?
up. Yeah, its satiating factor goes up because of that. Tosha's like, she's like, oh, gross, disgusting. He's pointing out exactly what I was saying of like the cheese isn't that prominent with it. It's just a textural thing. Like when you eat,
it's just odd. Like it's not bad.
He says it's not.
But why
it's
would
just
you ever
odd,
do it?
But it's not. Oh, you heard him? Okay. I would do it because this moment on big thing.
What if you wrap the banana in a slice of mozzarella cheese, deli style?
I think that would go terribly.
Okay.
I bet that would be horrible.
I think mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, would be better.
Wait. Fresh mozz, I think, would be horrible. Deli style? You're talking like when they have the block and they...
Yeah, and they slice it, and it's like what you use for a deep dish Chicago-style pizza.
I honestly think the fresh mozz would be the worst thing you could do because I don't want a sopping wet banana.
I mean, there's fresh mozz that isn't that wet, but it's so cream-like. Fresh mozzarella has a very like soft cream flavor that I think that taste-wise would mesh better with a banana.
Spiff asks, what if you melted the cheese and dipped the banana? Does that fondue fast food, no, like that fondue chain do that?
Well, probably.
They're
What's
like, no,
pot?
sir, that's for the chocolate. And I'm like, the customer's always right. Bring me the Gouda fountain.
Dan, if I ever find out you actually said that phrase to a waitstaff member, I would drive to Alabama and murder you with a pipe.
Aggro, my counter argument is that service worker saw somebody dipping a banana into the cheese and thought, I should get involved in this.
Muckbud says GigaBoots eats a charcuterie board wrapped around a banana. Just the whole fucking thing.
That's what those old ass recipes are, right? Like the banana with the cheese and the ham over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can get the cheese. The ham? I think we're really fucking wandering here. I don't know. This is coming from someone who always does the string cheese with the prosciutto wrapped around it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is how you know I'm not bullshitting. We're talking about this banana snack, and my stomach, I'm not sure if you can hear it or if the mic's picking it up, is growling because I'm like, man, I would destroy that right now.
Could really go for another banana
I could really
snack.
go for another banana snack right now. Mr. Rogers was so based. Please, Mr. Rogers, what else can I do with my government cheese? I just have so much. Bob, Smashburger from Sonic, not recommended
Not
at all.
recommended.
Yeah, save your $7.
But those pickle fries at Sonic, pretty good.
Those pickle fries at Sonic are pretty good. Don't buy a PS5 Pro. It leads to you eating the banana snack.
And people around you.
It infects them.
I'm glad Chris had the exact same experience with me of the confusion of why am I not tasting the cheese more? It's just the aftertaste of cheese.
That's so weird, yeah.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
It's like they neutralize each other in a weird way. I'm still a fan of it. I don't know. We need all I'm saying is if we had a bunch of Depression era food snacks or whatever, I think it would take it. I think it's number one.
Well, Dan, now that your life has been illuminated by adding a dairy fat to bananas, I think it's time you upgrade to the mayonnaise and banana sandwich.
I honestly think you're right.
Do you put anything else on it, or is it just those two things?
Nope. White bread, mayonnaise, sliced banana.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I never tried it.
Huh.
This, I would, if someone presented it to me, I would take a bite to try it. But I'm not going to willingly make something that Ned Flanders would serve.
Yeah, it does sound like one of the whitest foods ever made.
Your main additional ingredient's mayonnaise, so
Right.
it's okay. Use Kewpie mayo.
Make it fancy.
Make
Get
it
that fish
fancy.
flavor.
Yeah. That might actually ruin it. I have to wonder. Now I have to make 2. Oh man.
Do you toast the bread or anything?
Never mind, Spiff. Forget about the avocado. I'm eating a banana mayonnaise sandwich tonight instead of smash burgers.
Jesus.
Gotta try with the Miracle Whip too. No, that is just a fucking different thing. As someone raised on Miracle Whip, that is not the same thing as mayo. It is not. Bob, what else did you play?
I played some other stuff. I played Overwatch Classic.
Like driving a bullet point, like, man, they sure just only made this game worse.
Well, here's the thing. Overwatch Classic lets people do duplicate characters. I wanted to go back, but the moment I learned that, I didn't even fucking look at it. I didn't even look in the installer.
Oh, you couldn't do that originally.
There was at very least a mode where you didn't do that, where you couldn't duplicate.
Yeah, there were always at least goofy modes where you had like unlimited soups and stuff like that, where you could all be the same character. And there maybe it was even the main mode at some point.
But they always had another mode where that wasn't the case, and I could also just run off to competitive to really make sure that no one could do a dupe character.
Right.
I'm just not even interested anyways. Hey, Bob, how did Overwatch Classic, the 6v6 mode with duplicate character selectable, go for you?
I just only played one match because I was so disappointed by that. I wanted to just have 6v6. I really just wanted 6v6 with the more modern stuff.
Yeah, because you said they even only have the characters from the time, right?
Yeah, that's literally the launch
it would ruin the illusion
only.
for some people.
And it was only the default skins. And yeah. Yeah, so literally just like, okay, I play Diva. Now she just has fewer moves.
Oh, God, Jesus.
Yeah. Now the moves are on the wrong buttons because they were different at launch.
Oh, my God. Why are they like this?
I don't know. It's like this weird monkey's paw of like, I get that this is like what you're doing with WoW, but with WoW, a lot more people are nostalgic for that exact era, and that was a very different thing. Whereas Overwatch, in a lot of ways, did get better and worse. So we wanted that like the in-between ground. Which I'm still hoping they do at some point. Just give me 6v6 with the modern game. Why is it like this?
That feels almost inevitable. Like, it feels like they're just gonna be like, yeah, take it back.
But yeah, I don't know the last time anyone listening to the podcast played Overwatch with any or allowable duplicate characters. That's just madness. That is, the whole team is now Winston's. Oh, there's like 3 different tanks running at you that are all the same guy. Like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of Roadhogs. They push you out of the point. That's what they do. I should have played Bastion because he was really powerful back at launch. And I was killed by a few Symmetras that sat down and ate tons of turrets to do a ton of damage. And all this was in one round. It's like, yep, I'm sure hitting the hits of what made Overwatch original bad. So that was pretty strong. Did anyone else jump in? I know that Dan left and he's the only one who would.
No, I considered it, but I'm like, no.
I was just so disappointed when it was only this one game mode. Like, if it allowed for any customization, any options, that would have been a lot more exciting than, oh, dig into this and it's just this one thing you can do. Can't alter anything about it.
Yeah.
It was depressing.
I don't understand how they take such a winning idea and completely fuck it up in a way that no one asked for.
Yeah, like who's out there like craving this one kind of game mode that was at launch?
I mean, it's just like people just wanted the 6v6.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their way of answering that. The most fucked up way possible.
Yeah, it's like, do you remember when you killed this game like 2 years ago?
You want to unkill it? They're like, we would just kill it again.
Yeah, what if we take it back to 6 years ago? Like, that's... What are you doing?
Someone in chat is saying they're changing it throughout the event, I believe. No Limits is going or gone. Then later they'll patch it in like a week or so. That's even dumber.
Yeah, that's even dumber. I don't want to be like on their schedule for when I can play the game that I want to play.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
God. Why is it so complicated? I just don't get that.
I don't know either. It's like, are you worried that you won't have enough player bases to have 2 playlists going? It's like, here's the thing. Nobody's going to play the new version.
Right.
Because no one's currently playing it.
Right. Yeah.
You're not losing anybody.
Hey, Chris. I really like your PNG tuber, but have you considered adding a toothpick?
Well, I have heard that changes everything.
It does. It changes everything.
Man, your PS5 Pro is looking great.
You know what? I'm going to put a toothpick on it right now. Now it will be worth $848. Can you even fucking stick a toothpick in this thing?
Yeah, I guess in the pegs, yeah.
Yeah, it's got the grill racer. Yeah, it looks so badass.
It looks great now.
You guys don't even know. I'll post a picture after the podcast.
I also have played more Ease 10 Nordics.
Oh, cool.
I finally beat the demo.
You're playing the PC version.
I am playing the PC version because you owned it, so I had it on the family share plan
Steam
thing.
family share plan thing. You have a 12,700 or 12,500 Intel CPU, and you're still using the 1080 Ti.
Yes.
How's that working out?
That is running the solid like 120 frames per second, except for some cutscenes where it drops to like 100. It's weird. It fluctuates.
Yeah, the cutscenes would drop my setup, which I have it cranked all the way up. It would drop it to 60 on my 4090, which I have it cranked all the way up. Basically, I could go higher. But yeah, those cutscenes for some reason it's just
That's weird because nothing's happening.
Right,
Nothing.
yeah, that's it.
The cutscene
It's an ease cutscene. People are talking.
Right. People are not moving while they're talking. There is a still background. You walk around any other time. Like, there's nothing fancy is going on.
Yeah, no. In fact, their talking animation is obviously far less intensive than any other animation in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know why the cutscenes are like that, but it's cool that it's locking 120 on your system.
Yeah, and I can make it do 144 if I use my other monitor with higher refresh rate, but it's like, I just use the TV.
Right.
They have a great feature on the PC, which is basically the only reason I suck with the PC.
Okay.
When you boot the game, it's like, hey, do you want to boot the game or do you want to reload your save file and pick up where you left off?
That is also a thing that is in Cold Steel 1 and 2 on PC. That is like the Durante classic.
Yeah.
That's a great feature.
Every PC game needs that.
That is literally the future of gaming. Should be no load times and resume straight into my save.
Because that's the only way it gets even close to the feeling of playing on console.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Because PCs don't have a good suspend mode.
No, they don't.
Right.
Not at all. Plus, because it's made Durante, I can Alt-Tab out, and it's fine.
The amazing technology of Alt-Tab not crashing a video game. Which luckily, it's been a really, really long time since I've had that problem. But, I don't do our Steam Next Fest.
Yeah, like,
that's Bob. That's Bob.
Yeah, if you're working on a PC version of a game, that's the most important thing you need to have work.
Yeah.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
I did finish the demo, as I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That took like 7 hours or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me about 5.5, I think. It's pretty long.
Yeah. I understand why they did it, though. Because the last dungeon you do in that is the first time I felt like I was just playing the game.
Yes.
There's so much of that game was like, okay, play for like 5 minutes and then we're gonna do cutscenes and stuff. It was to the point where 5 hours into this game, I'm like, I don't know the control scheme well. I can't even play it right. Because they won't let me play it for like more than 5 minutes at a time.
Right.
And I'm like,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so finally when they did this and let me just play the game, I was like, oh, this game's good. And then immediately moving from the demo to the full game, I did the first boss fight there because it ends on ooh, look at the sandworm. It's going to be a cool boss fight. That's the worst boss fight I fought in the game.
Yeah.
That is the only time in the entire game I had to use healing items. Except when I fought the level 99 optional thing.
It just feels terrible. I don't know what they were thinking. I understand why I didn't want it in the demo.
Yeah, Same here. That's basically my least favorite boss fight in the entire game.
Yeah, what if he was gigantic, hard to actually reach, and could instantly kill you, and also his main source of damage is shaking a little bit and doing extra hits. So if you perfect guard the first hit, he's like, oh, I'm going to shake and hurt you anyway.
Yeah, multiple people in chat saying that is the worst boss in the game. So there you go, Bob. You got past the worst boss of the game. It was smart of them to cut it out of the demo.
Yes.
Otherwise, you would have been like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe not.
But otherwise, this game's real cool. I like it a lot. I like going around on my ship, just wandering, finding a bunch of random townspeople to then board on my ship and be like, hey, you just live here, I guess. Because we don't want to go with those pirates.
You got a roaming sitcom going on that ship.
You do.
You a big fan of Keigo and Hanataro?
Of course. I'm trying. Is the shipbuilder the
There's
Hanataro?
a Hanataro?
I would say the merchant's son is very Hanataro coded.
No, I don't think he's anything like Hanataro. I'd say he's actually more like the friend that's constantly blowing Keigo off. Mizuru.
I wouldn't say he's like him either. I don't
He's
know.
definitely not the I'm Spike Spencer type of thing that Hanataro is.
He does have more of a spine. Like he
does.
But he is visually coded like Hanataro
He is.
for sure. And
Whereas
he does have,
Keigo is just Keigo.
yes, there's no differentiation.
Keigo got into a himbo phase. That's all that's up with him.
Yes, he's decided that he should wear a belly shirt. Like that's the main difference between him and regular Keigo.
My dad's the mayor, so I slutted up in order to own him. And I'm like, is he owned right now? He seems to not care. How owned is your dad by you sucking dick? I'm gonna guess not at all. Okay.
But yeah, it seems pretty cool going around the big ocean and stuff. I did find the ship battle that I was like, I can't beat this. I need to level up.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a merchant ship that was a fake merchant ship.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna kill you.
There's a couple of those.
Yeah, I ran into that exact one you're talking about. And we were like, oh shit, gotta leave. I will talk more about this later, but one of the funny things about the hilarious post hoc co-op patch for PC, Bob, I steer the ship. I aim the ship. Spiff had to fire every armament.
I guess that's how you do it.
That's like a real boat. Because I'm steering it. So I would literally have to be like, okay, I'm hitting the brakes and you need to fire the thing now. It's such a hilarious mess. It was real good.
But that's all I really got to say about East 10.
Okay, cool.
So, Bob, you talked about making all of these people live on your ship. I assume you're like talking to them and recruiting them, right?
Yes.
Because the way you described it made it sound like you were Metal Gear Solid 5 skyhooking people from the shore onto your longboat.
No,
A little
you
bit
have
like
to
that.
you have to save them from a living hell.
Okay.
And then they voluntarily are like, oh man, I want to live on your ship. Because I don't want to go back and live with the Normans. No one does.
I mean, it's a little bit more like I would like to help rescue the other people in our town who are in the same situation I was.
I think a couple people said what Bob said. But most of them are like, yeah, honorable thing of saving everyone else. Also, our homes are burned down.
Right.
You should come live on my boat. Why? Because your home's about to burn down.
Oh, I see.
I also played more Vampire Survivors Ode to Castlevania.
So did I. I even got to the end of that DLC, or the end of the first phase, because there's of course more after.
I too beat it, technically.
I would have gotten that done if I didn't play 18 hours of web fishing.
Right. There is some unfortunate voice acting in that ending. I won't say any more.
Oh.
It's even from professionals, and I think that they recorded it very unprofessionally.
Oh.
I think they're just trying to make it sound like Bit Crushed.
Poorly, yeah.
Cool.
I think it's all fine except for the voice for the boss, which is perhaps not a great voice from that voice actor.
Cool. I didn't realize I'm going to have to beat this to have opinions on a cutscene. Oh boy.
I think they do some neat stuff other than that, but oh man,
They do. And then at the very end, there's this kind of bro thinks they're on the team moment.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I think Vampire Survivors might be evil.
Go on.
They're to be less to use less hyperbole, because people genuinely don't seem to fucking understand what I mean when I say this, even though I always explain it afterwards, like I'm doing right now. Somehow someone will still not understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how transparently fine-tuned it is with like casino logic shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for the record, the developer worked on e-slots before making this game.
Yeah.
It rubs me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Ode
does
to Castlevania does it less than the base game, for the record, because Ode to Castlevania, you can like you make decisions because you have this huge map and there's bosses on the map and bosses get you upgrades. So you have to kind of plan your route and use your time efficiently. But the base game, I really just it gives me that empty feeling of like this is to trudge through your life until you die. Just look at the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at the slot machine. You have to interact exactly enough to make you feel like you're involved, but not really make any choices. Because every weapon's about equally powerful once it's upgraded. Like you can have preferences, but it doesn't feel like there's any real duds.
I feel like I've had full runs of just duds.
Jonathan's fucking javelin is garbage.
It's good when it's upgraded. It's real funny because it gets like the Pac-Man. I go off one side of the screen and come back the other side effect.
That is funny. I'm trying to think of duds in Ode to Castlevania, because there are definitely duds in the original. Because I
don't like the birds, because you have to have both of them to upgrade them into their
that's the original.
That's from the original. Yeah. A lot of the duds are all the original game.
Yeah, like the diamond you throw. Yeah. But you need to have
the diamond's okay if you max it out.
Well, you need to have that in order to unlock the spell book in order to get an upgrade for Charlotte or Shanoa.
I think that the axes are embarrassing. I've upgraded them to max many times, and I'm like, these suck.
I don't
these
like the axes
anything.
Aren't great.
And those are off the from the base
all
game.
of these are base game things. I was pretty frustrated that for the DLC they needed me to go and max out base game things, and I'm like, your base game sucks.
There is a couple things from that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something that drove me crazy. Once you beat the game and unlocked a whole new set of characters to unlock, I had already completed some of the obligations to unlock those characters. Yes, that bothers
the shit out of me.
So it's like, it didn't count that. I need to go do that again, which was frustrating, because like, dude, a run takes 30 minutes. You should save that. You should remember that I have maxed out that weapon.
That's nuts. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. I would have unlocked like 3 or 4 more characters just off the bat, but no, it's like, no, do it again.
And for a game that's so fucking thoroughly tuned to yank dopamine out of you, the fact they didn't do that is a pretty big oversight, in my opinion.
That really killed my enthusiasm to keep playing it. So I unlocked like a couple characters that I was like, I need to get them, but I don't think I'm going back.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was really upset when I unlocked Carrie from 64, and she just uses the worst spellbook. She uses Rock Slide or whatever it is, where
that's horrible.
Yeah,
Rock Riot.
Yeah. Which the spell books are hit or miss, and that one misses real bad.
I do love that when you unlock all the spell books, Juste just becomes the best character in the game.
Yes,
because if you don't know Juste's fucking gimmick, he can just pick one of the spells every level for his first 7 levels, and then they automatically go up 1 rank every 6 levels.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he automatically just becomes way more powerful.
Dope. I still haven't checked if this DLC's on phone.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't last week, but it is now. So I just opened it.
Nice. But yeah, I still think it's way better than the original game. I definitely suggest playing it to anyone who wants to give it a try and likes Castlevania at all.
Yeah, if you go, this is again, it's like so bizarre that Castlevania is now being handled better than like almost every other NES era franchise that still exists.
It's really funny that it's like they got the IP for this and like, let's basically make double the size of the original game. Like, let's make the whole game again.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
So here's the funny part. This is extremely minor spoilers because it's something that isn't in the game. Basically, every single Castlevania character that has ever appeared on screen with a name and a personality that could be inferred, not even portrayed, inferred, like you go, that's a human being. Obviously, they must have a personality, even if I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of those are unlockable in Ode to Castlevania. No fucking Lords of Shadow character is.
Not a
one,
Castlevania game.
Not even
Absolute
Gabriel.
victory.
Yeah, I bet
Even Capcom still kind of hedges on DMC to DMC. Konami, they're like, fuck you. Get in the grave.
Yeah, no.
I assume this dev just doesn't care at all. Honestly, like
I honestly don't think. I think Konami at this point is kind of bitter over how Lords of Shadow went, because Lords of Shadow 2 isn't a cheap game.
That's true.
And Mirror of Fate had a lot riding on it. It could have done way better than it did, but it's a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's running sub 30 frames per second on the 3DS, and it's like, oh, compare that to any of the DS Castlevanias. Oh, this sucks.
Probably sold worse too. With obviously way more expensive than
It
making
obviously
any of
sold
those.
worse than Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we did a poll in chat,
guess,
and apparently a toothpick do change everything.
Of course.
Okay.
guess what fucking total jobbers you can unlock? But not Gabriel Belmont.
Yeah.
Lords of Shadow is considered the same as that fucking flip phone game with the Belmont with the Vegeta hair.
Order of Shadows. Desmond.
There was one character I didn't recognize, and that was he just called Quincy.
Oh, that is that is not a Castlevania character, Bob. That's Quincy Morris from the Dracula novel, because the Morrises in Bloodlines and Portrait are his descendants.
That's what I thought, but I was like, but Quincy himself hasn't been in Castlevania.
No.
I'm glad they didn't stick in Lords of Shadow, because as I keep saying, that those aren't Castlevania games. Look at the timeline of Castlevania. Are they in it? No. Okay, then.
The timeline of Castlevania.
It's there. Ego regrets it.
Right. But like, this is absolutely stunning that no Lords of Shadow character appears in this game, and Quincy Morris makes his debut.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. Oh, so the director of Bloodstained 1 and former director of Bloodstained 2, he had to stop because he's now struggling with cancer, actually has been tweeting a lot of information about his involvement with Castlevania games. He pointed out the original producer of Harmony of Despair wasn't Iga.
Yeah.
And that's why he got to make it not a Metroidvania. And then Iga got involved. Also, he talked about coming on to Lament of Innocence, and apparently when he came onto that project, a lot of people were like, we have no idea what this game will be like when we finish it. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I played it. You absolutely can play that game and go, they don't know what the structure of this game was as they were working on these individual pieces.
Yeah, especially when you fight a Contra boss.
Yes. Man, that's two games that aren't named Contra on the PS2 that are straight up very Contra for moments of them.
Yeah.
How many failed Contra assets have ended up in Konami games on the PS2? Because it's Nano Breaker and Lament of Innocence.
Right, for sure. Those two. I bet there are more. Man. But yeah, I think that's the only reason to use Twitter, following
Shitaro. Yeah, I retweet him all the time because he does really informative posts.
Yeah,
nonstop.
Lots of good info coming out from there.
Once again, that's the dude who was just like straight up. I was going to name the what was it, Dagger and Cloak or whatever, Killer Mantle. I was going to name Killer Mantle from Aria of Sorrow Donovan, after the character JoJo's Donabang, who literally flies up to JoJo with the fucking knife under a cloak to stab him. And I'm like, I knew that was a fucking Castlevania thing the second I saw it. I was like, God damn it, JoJo's is everywhere. Iga told him, no, that's too direct. That is the only reason that thing's not named Donovan. Weirdly enough, that information is still not entered on a single Castlevania wiki.
Very strange.
This motherfucker's just tweeting truths out here, and at no point does anyone enter it as trivia.
Oh yeah, when you beat the Castlevania, it unlocks a lot more stuff in the castle. The game expands out more, and I wish it did that earlier.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that it does it, and that definitely is enough reason to go play, at least enough to play through that new part of the castle.
Yeah, cool. There is this wall before you unlock, because mine is you have to unlock Richter to beat like phase 1 of the DLC, and that takes a while. You basically have to like flow chart through every single other character before him.
Yeah,
and maybe if it was a little bit less restrictive than that, it would have been fine.
Yeah, if you could unlock Richter like only maybe 5 characters earlier. But it'd feel like you have to unlock every single character, and then now finally you can play the full game. They made the Castlevania 64 Legacy of Darkness Wolfman incredible.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Cornell.
Yeah. This game made me want to go play the 64 Castlevania games. Messed up.
They're 2 of the only Castlevania games I've never beaten. In fact, they may be the only 2 I haven't beaten outside of the remake of Haunted Castle.
Yes.
Yeah.
It came out like, what, 2 months ago or something?
Right, and I've just been busy. And also, it's Haunted Castle. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's not a game.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to play the remake. Just, it's not a high priority item.
Yeah.
Unlike tomorrow's stream. I ain't saying it yet.
Okay.
They can wait a little bit longer.
They can. But that's everything I played.
That's everything you played?
That's everything I played. I played a lot of Ys. I've been trying to get through that.
Hey, Aggro, what you been playing?
Well, I'm currently playing Vampire Survivors, the Ode to Castlevania DLC. Haven't gotten very far in it yet, still feeling things out.
That's cool. Happy to hear it. I'm going to set it up on an iPad, and you'll just see me during the podcast being like...
The only other thing I've done is continue to cram metaphor into my mouth as fast and as hard as possible. And I had an interesting thought today while I was playing it, because this game is real good. You know how we just didn't get turn-based JRPGs for years?
It felt like they got the very smallest budgets for the longest time, yeah.
I started to think, about the time period when that happened, and maybe it was all right that they went away during that, and we didn't get really weird, really bad ones with like end of 7th gen brain rot. And they slept for a while, and they came back stronger than ever, and it's the good timeline.
I'm trying to imagine the 7th gen pilled turn-based RPG.
Damn, I'm terrified
that's
like
that
Expedition
exists.
23 or whatever it's called.
Is going to be,
I'm
that's what
gonna be real.
about.
Once they showed that game has like fucking Mario, Super Mario RPG type action commands, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's going to be the closest thing to what Aggro has just described.
Yeah.
It's going to be terrifying.
I see chat going, Resonance of Fate. No, Resonance of Fate 100% is a PS1 RPG with too much money.
Yeah,
because they would have made the gimmick RPG that is Resonance of Fate.
I'm trying to think of... I know there's something like that. I'm struggling to think of... First of all, I would argue that that's what Mass Effect is. Like, it's not turn-based, but I think it has a very similar energy to, like, if you made a weird, shitty 7th gen JRPG. Like, I feel like it would come out a lot like Mass Effect. It even got crossover with Lightning Returns.
Oh my god.
But other than that, I know there's something.
Yeah, it feels like something that fills that slot for sure.
Anyway, so metaphor pretty good.
Yeah, metaphor continues to be pretty fucking good. You've read it on the internet. Believe it.
Bob, should I see how good it looks on the PS5 Pro?
Of course, man.
But I got this PC Xbox code. And I'm going to soon be building the new GigaBoots PC.
Play the metaphor on the
because I got the
Xbox store on PC.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
I got the 9800X 3D and a 4090, the world's best gaming PC at our disposal. Better be perfect.
Of course. Why would it be anything less?
That is an Xbox. My PC's an Xbox. A phone is an Xbox.
I mean, we're about 2 weeks out from them claiming every single person who has the Xbox game bar on their PC enabled is on Xbox.
We're a week out from them declaring that the iPhone is just by default an Xbox. You don't even need the app. You just haven't installed it yet.
Look at the giant user base we have.
Yeah. It's huge. Number go up.
Will the investors give us more money now?
It's amazing when you just lie, number go up. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And that's all you've been playing, Agro?
That'll do it.
Hey Chris, what you been playing?
I played basically all I played was Vampire Survivors, and I played a very slight more of World of Warcraft: The War Within. Man, they sure love ending every zone with a character heroically sacrificing himself.
Holy shit!
And then most of the time they immediately are revealed to have not actually died.
God damn it! Come on!
It has happened in all 3 zones so far.
Okay, they're doing that every chapter. Are they also doing that the thing where someone's corrupted by evil every chapter, like every zone? Like
no,
a big
that's
hero?
more of like an overarching plot of these games. But one of the characters hanging out with me was corrupted by evil in a previous expansion, and he has PTSD over being corrupted by evil in this one, so he cannot use light magic anymore. He has too much trauma.
Ooh.
Because he was mind controlled by the Destiny villain,
Ooh.
the jailer.
Jailer.
So, I assume that's all you want to talk about with WoW? So we can move on to what we got coming up. Oh,
before
what's
do you think they'll have to do another WoW movie?
No.
Did anyone watch that first Warcraft?
Yeah, it made a lot
movie?
of money.
It's made a lot of money.
I'm surprised they never made a sequel.
They're still taking forever to make an Uncharted 2.
But that's way newer.
Yeah, but it's still taking forever.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, what the hell are we doing here? How
Yeah, I
hard
don't
is
know
it to get fucking Spider-Man in front of a fucking green screen?
It's so hard. We have to keep them extra safe.
Yeah, I mean, most of the fucking behind the scenes for the fucking first Uncharted movies, like, we had him do some stunts, and then you see the stunt is him walking on a thing that's tilting. And that's the stunt. Bob,
Yeah.
will you unsheath the games for tomorrow's stream?
Oh my god. Yeah, we got 2 different bags.
Bob, present them with game 1. Horizon! Lego Horizon! Bob! Present them with game 2! Funko Fusion!
So we're just descending into a pit of sin.
Yes. We have to figure out which toy game is the best product. Is product
This is so
good?
vomit inducing.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, this is not made by the regular Lego game people.
Yes.
It is
Oh
not.
shit.
No.
All I know about that game is that it has real quirky dialogue like all the Lego stuff you're used to. They clearly have some writers from Lego.
Uh-huh.
They called teeth on the dinosaurs chompers.
Okay.
So I'm very excited to find out how these two compare via our Funko Fusion Lego Horizon flop swap tomorrow. Man, I still don't know which one should be on the Pro, guys. Fun fact, neither of these games support it.
The one made with
The
Sony's
Sony
biggest
IP.
The one they most respect right now.
Somehow doesn't have a PS5 Pro mode.
Baffling.
Now, I will say for the stream, because the Switch version of Funko Fusion is not out, I tried to get it to work on the Steam Deck. It wouldn't even boot, and the status on the store was unknown. I'm like, how is it not known? It literally won't boot at all.
Right, that seems pretty easy to check.
This seems pretty night and day. 1 or 0. This do not work. Say it do not work, but it's unknown. it popped up with, what was it? Needs Microsoft C++ runtime, and then closed. And I'm like, okay, well, I know how the Steam Deck works. I'm going to reboot the Steam Deck and try again. Nope. So we're very excited to see which product-based video game is best product.
Yeah. Oh, these are going to be bad, man.
Bob, which one do you think you will enjoy more?
Lego Horizon.
I think I'm going to enjoy Funko Fusion more.
I guess you'll get to play as Mega Man.
I get to play as Scott Pilgrim and Mega Man.
Oh my God. Scott Pilgrim, of course.
Am I remembering the trailer right? Was Funko Fusion the one that looked like it was barely hitting 30 in the trailer?
Yeah, for the Switch version, it was running at 20 frames per second. I don't know why the Switch version isn't out yet. Real mystery. Allegedly coming out in March. By the way, that game, I had to download it on the Steam Deck, so I know. It was over 40 gigabytes. How the hell are they getting that on the Switch ever? They're going to have to decimate everything about it.
60 gigs on the PlayStation.
60 on the
60.
PS5!
The Horizon's only 20.
Ooh.
Little baby game.
And from what I've seen, Horizon looks really good.
Right?
It looks really nice. I don't think Funko Fusion will look anywhere near as good.
Do you think there are going to be generic characters in Funko Fusion, like just based on Funko Pops, not on...
Do you think, you're asking me if I think we're going to have a main character that's just the idea of Funko?
Yeah, because I think
name's-
there is a Funko Pop who's like the original, who's just a guy.
Yeah,
This
he has
sounds
like a
like
shitty crown.
Uh-huh.
This is a spooky story for scaring kids.
It is.
I don't like this lore. It's scaring me
I
too
think
much.
his name is Funko Freddy, I think.
I don't like that.
Are you kidding me? I was about to make a Funko Fazbear joke.
Oh no, his name is Freddy Funko.
Mm.
And he looks like Bob's Big Boy, but he's a ginger. So I think the implication is that he's the fucking loser collecting these Funko Pops.
So I hope he's not in that game.
I'm checking right now.
Xena's in the game.
Xena Warrior Princess is in this game?
Yes, Xena Warrior Princess.
You go back in time, you tell a kid, hey, there's a game in the future that has Mega Man and Xena Warrior Princess and what is the name of the He-Man before he transforms? Prince Adam? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got all these characters in it. It's a really great game. The kid would be like, wow. And then you'd go, I'm just kidding. It's fucking rancid. Who knows, though? Maybe the game's good. I don't know. I haven't watched any gameplay footage since the Switch thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks and runs great on the PS5. I don't know which of these would be better product. We need to poll chat repeatedly on which product is best product. And which product does best job of presenting product? Is Lego Horizon better at presenting the Horizon IP, and the joy of Lego, or is the Funko game better at presenting the joy of Funko?
God. Yeah, but I guess they might have stuff in... I wonder if it's going to promote collecting in a weird way, like super strongly in the Funko game.
If it doesn't, they just completely miss the mark.
Like, hey, go buy Funko Pops again. I know everyone stopped. I know there are business models crumpling and we're dying, but you need to go buy them right now.
Do you think the Gears of War characters are in that game?
I doubt it.
They had Funkos.
They had Funkos for sure.
Microsoft says they don't care.
This looks like everything on the front is all actual like movies and TV shows and stuff.
You're telling me Mega Man's in a fucking video game and they couldn't even fit him on the title screen full of 30 fucking characters?
No. Yeah. No.
Capcom? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Either don't make the deal or force them to put Mega Man on the cover.
The back has Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a powerful IP you have to tap into.
Uh-huh.
Because Funko Pop people love Five Nights at Freddy's.
They certainly do. Man. Pretty glad I don't have to interact with those people anymore.
Yeah,
Some
Bob,
of them are fine. Then there's the true believers.
see, Bob used to work at a Funko Pop store for like 16 years, right, Bob?
That's what GameStop is called, yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is.
It's what degraded to over my tenor.
Our local GameStop couldn't get a copy of Dragon Quest 3. Not one.
But they can get 6 PS5 Pros.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, what?
Jesus
What's wrong with them?
My God. Anyway. Well, let's see. Let me look at this. Me says, we saved Bob. You sure did, but it's going to be unfortunate if we can't pay off the PS5 Pro by the end of Friday's stream. Bob's going to have to go back to working at GameStop. Aggro is going to have to hit the streets. I'm going to have to become a... Actually, you know what? Chris and I, we're just going to do our own rage podcast. We're just going to fake being angry about a new thing every week.
I won't even fake it. I'll just be like, no, I think it's fine.
You think everything fine every week? That's your role on this podcast, where it's rage bait?
Except I'll have depression. So people make up really bizarre reasons why I think everything's fine.
I'm going to bring up horrible political, socio-politics and like war and all these things. And Chris is going to be like, I think it's fine, actually. I don't care. I don't care, man. I got this game on my phone. It's called Vampire Survivors. I don't need to care anymore. Number go up. Chris, what do you have coming up?
I have to take one more week off because shit is
okay.
that I didn't expect keeps happening. But next week we will stream Killer 7.
Nice.
It will happen. I don't know anything about it, but it is going to fucking happen.
And it's going to be fucking awesome because it's Killer 7.
I don't know anything about Killer 7. I have never watched anybody stream. I know the I feel blood rushing through my body speech. That's it.
And then wasn't that from Gex?
That's what I heard.
Hey, Aggro, what do you have coming up?
Looks like I'm going to be playing a bunch more Vampire Survivors. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully you can finish Metaphor.
Oh, a poll just ended in chat. Which product do you think is best? 93% say Lego Horizon will be better.
It probably will be.
Nah.
It'll probably be super mid, whereas Funko Fusion will be mad.
I've experienced cutscenes in Lego Horizon. You're all gonna be clawing your eyes out like it's a horror movie.
Oh no!
I made your favorite sandwich. It's got butter on one side and bacon on the other.
That sounds pretty normal.
That's Aloy's favorite sandwich. Did you know? Did you know Aloy's favorite sandwich? You will by the end of Lego Horizon.
I mean, when you
did you know Aloy's Reddit?
Did you know Aloy is Reddit?
When there's nothing to work off of, you just have to make it all up. All of it.
I'm excited, but I'm honestly thinking I might like Funko more.
Dude, I want to know about her rabbit buddy. I don't see him on the cover.
Yeah,
Where is her rabbit buddy?
Not. I thought this was like wave 3 of Horizon products. Like, you know how they have the like Sonic Bible?
Uh-huh.
I thought this was in the new like Aloy Bible. She has a buddy, so that way anyone likes her. Here's her rabbit buddy.
I don't see a rabbit buddy. I thought this was going to be Rabbit Buddy Origins.
No. Astrobot invented the rabbit buddy. It's not real.
Maybe Jarl have a rabbit buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Podlords.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Where are the Poplords going to become Funko Pops?
Why would you wish that on them? Sharing the screen with Podlord.
Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado, 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF, Spider-Man, Mr. I Like Spam, DFW 3K, Muckbun. Turn around, Bright Eyes. Every now and then, I guess it right.
Jesus.
Chris C. Plain Old Juicer Frost. Cooper Tank. Give us your planana.
God.
Fuck off.
Ugh.
Every week they find the worst thing to do.
Quality.
Yes.
Chris C. Wait a second. Indigo Sykes. Foul Ryko. And this is proof that the Pod Lords are just taking turns fucking with me.
Uh-huh.
Gudgene. Instead of Gaijin.
All right.
Just fucking... Shinji16 and Dooley from The Bazaar would like to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy.
Nah, that's a Portal 2 character.
Right?
You can't trick me. Scarf don't change everything.
A little raccoon hoping to cheer up your week.
Oh, it's so round.
Thanks, buddy. Sony's PS5 Pro marketing strategy.
Oh, t-shirt, please.
Take the color out.
Yeah, you gotta make that grayscale.
Yeah.
More depressing, not less. First week as a medically forced vegan, and I'm eating like Orihime.
Oh, no.
Man, she looks so different in that shot.
Yes.
I just came from watching Bleach.
We need to return to this Orihime. It's like Fat Pikachu.
Yes.
Please go back.
Yes.
No bit. Here's the sketch I did at work when I was doing the joy of painting bits.
I like this. This is like the proto Podlord image.
Jesus.
This bit's a little lonely, so I'm gonna add a little Karya right there. Sarah Lean. Timothy Pfister, Platinum Sonic X Shadow Generation. Sonic Team should get to remake Sonic 06 as a treat. Treat for them or treat for me?
Penance.
I didn't check if that was something because it was the director of Sonic 06 who said he wanted to remake it, and I don't know if he actually said that or if it was that thing that nobody ever verifies in a headline of. Did he say it or did you ask him a leading question about it?
Don't matter.
Hosting the flagship Monsters Until Wilds this year. Kushala Daora.
That's a dragon.
Sure is.
Is that the same dragon as last week?
No,
Last
that was
week-
a Rathalos.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
Rathalos.
that,
Okay.
that one's pretty iconic. I
It
don't
is
know
iconic.
this one.
You don't know this one?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Krunglespum. Pleochrome. Been reading Blue Lock since season 2 dropped off, and this series has the sauce. Read Blue Lock.
Is that Soul bad guy on the right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Ha ha! I made this bit before I walked in the room!
Praying for the exec who decided this should be an extraction shooter instead to forever step on Legos.
Virmvarm. A leak of the 2 new Virtua Fighter 6 characters. You can see that image last week. Stheno? Stheno?
I got nothing for you.
Bleach Gags on vacation. Back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon.
I like when I can't see the dragon through the aura.
Well, good. Do I have a dragon for you? Holy shit.
Well, they're doing Axel Synchro. That's why you
oh,
can't. That's
yeah.
because the aura, because you can see, because this is from
Obviously.
5D's, the motorcycle one. So you can see the guy down there at the bottom doing Axel Synchro. That's where you have to summon a new monster by going faster than light on your motorcycle.
What the fuck?
That doesn't seem safe.
Dubious little creature getting up to mischief.
I don't know. It just looks like Yakisoba Pond to me.
Right? What could be mischievous about that?
Cryptic Bird.
Man, my favorite Metroid character.
And Digital Basic. Thank you very much to our Podlord.
Thanks, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. And if you'd like to
Podlords.
become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/GB podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts. Pokemon won't last the year, so get going if you want early access. You also get extended content for other shows we do, such as Gamer Premonitions and Armchair Devs. There are Armchair Dev extras for Save Ubisoft and Sonic up right now if you'd like to see behind the scenes on those shows. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119. This is a real feature-length film only available on the GigaBoots podcasting Patreon, where you can watch a man go to Thailand to solve the injuring of his brother and his true goal to get a tax write-off on his vacation to Thailand. That's patreon.com/GB podcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to tell your friends, rate us on Thursdays, rate us with a T on your podcasting app of choice, and leave a comment and subscribe on YouTube if you listen that way right now, especially that new Armchair Devs channel, patreon.com/GB podcasts.
We've got some news.
Whoa.
Aggro and I don't got news. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Tell us some news.
Well, we found out where Hideki Itsuno went.
Hideaki Itsuno.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 The Devil May Cry guy.
Yeah.
Left Capcom end of August, I believe. He's now leading Lightspeed Studios Japan, or Lightspeed Japan Studios, rather.
Okay.
This is a Tencent company.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the first Lightspeed Studios they have established.
Mm-hmm.
The first one they did was back in 2020. It was in Los Angeles and headed up by Steve Martin, who's known to work on Rockstar games, so did like GTAs.
I see. Okay.
They are in fact the ones working on Last Sentinel, which we saw at the last Game Awards, is a CG trailer where it's a cyberpunk future and you play as some robot guy, and it's like in Japan.
And it was like in a church.
Yeah, it was a church.
There we go.
Attacked by robots.
Only at the last moment did I.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not out yet. That's the first one of these studios they set up.
Mm-hmm.
These AAA studios are great idea. They've also set up two other ones since then. There's a Singapore one and I think a Hong Kong one. Yeah, Hong Kong and Singapore. The focus of this new Itsuno one is making AAA original action games. We'll see how that goes. At least Tencent isn't already known to shut these giant AAA studios down.
Yeah, was NetEase the one who shut down Visions?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be okay. Probably. I certainly hope for the best.
Yeah. No, I want to say hopeful here, but these things are worrying because we've never seen one work out well.
I am gonna remain optimistic.
I honestly have like zero optimism whatsoever at this point. So far, these studios have only been shut down later. Not a single one has actually shipped anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing here is we already know the genre and scope of what he's heading for.
Yeah.
He's not saying quadruple A. He's not saying service game.
Right. He's not saying service game. He's not doing open world like that. The whole point of that first one they did in LA is to be their GTA like their open world game.
So the ambition's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully this keeps it way more like scope scaled down.
Especially since Itsuno is a practiced member of the video game development industry.
Mm-hmm.
The man's been making games for over 30 years, I believe.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. Something like 30 years. So you would hope,
right,
given the genre and established scale, that it'll hopefully go fine.
Yeah, hopefully.
I wonder if they're going to use Unreal Engine 5 or if we're going to begin to see the wave of Godot engine-based things from Japan.
That would be pretty exciting. The other studios, I believe, are using Unreal Engine 5, though.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 makes sense because you can get artists on who already know how to use the tools.
Yeah. I think it was the Hong Kong studio. They released video of one of their games, and it was running terribly
Whoa.
on Unreal.
Whoa.
That was 2 years ago, though. So
That's okay. I mean, videos of Black Myth Wukong before launch were running pretty bad, but it runs way worse now that it's out.
cool. There's also news about Shift Up. Those are the guys who did Stellar Blade and the mobile phone Nikkei game. The Stellar Blade PC is coming next year in 2025, and that Stellar Blade Nier collaboration comes out next week on November 20th.
Oh, cool.
That update also adds photo mode. Yeah, all these costumes I can see up there. A bunch of different costumes from Nier, and a shop actually in game run by Emil, the weird thing that Yokotaro wears the head of.
Mm-hmm.
You can also put the Yokotaro head thing on Adam in the game.
Oh, you just cover Adam up.
Yeah.
You're like, wear this.
Yes.
Paper bag. Rough. That's cool. And it's got the PS5 Pro patch, so
Yes.
this is we have an optimal way, a fully optimal way to enjoy Stellar Blade as of next week.
Yeah, I have to wonder if they're going to just kind of stop working on it after this. Like, oh, that was it.
Seems incredibly likely. I'm not surprised by the PC news because every time they talked about it,
Yeah, they talked about, hey, we're working on PC.
yeah. So, this part wasn't surprising at all. I'm glad PC gamers get their Gunner game next year. That's important.
Right.
Gunner games are important.
I guess they still haven't done a crossover as Nikkei, so I guess they could still do that and then move on.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like they even talked about the potential of doing that eventually.
Mm.
And that's neat. Hope for the best. I think they're still working on some sort of sequel.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And I'm excited to see what that's like.
Mm-hmm. Surprise update to the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition.
Why? It was already perfect.
I know, right? It was definitive.
You said so when I bought it.
You charged a lot of money.
You can't defeat Tommy Cementi. You can't. He's too powerful.
They actually made it so there is fog.
Wow.
Like
that thing
right
exists at all now. Okay, good.
They also have the sky colors like in the original version of these games.
Whoa.
I'm not sure what else they've done. It's a gigantic patch list. The original developer has been taken off of the credits entirely.
Yeah,
Yes.
I keep every couple of months this story pops up, and then I go look, and there's some YouTube video being like, "Don't fall for it. They haven't fixed shit."
Yeah, I want to boot
So
it up.
I'll
and
need
see
to
if
check
there's-
it this time.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the
Because
PS5 Pro.
if these are even halfway acceptable, I will buy them. I'm a rube.
We played a bit of those on stream.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I want to toggle. I want to play that trash version.
Yeah.
There's something appealing about no fog. There's something appealing to just look out into the vast openness that looks terrible.
Yeah. No, it was very funny. Clearly we slept on it, and now we have to pay the price.
Right?
We have to play a better version of that thing.
Apparently, there's also a lot of animations for CJ that got fixed for San Andreas.
Really?
I guess he becomes a weird hunchback when he rides a bike in the original version of this, and they fixed that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And others little things like that. Like the animation of your main character on a bicycle.
Yeah, it's a pretty common state for your main character.
Yeah.
Glad they fixed it.
So that's exciting. I guess go download the patch for that if you still have that. I did check with other people, make sure it's actually fixed before you buy it, though.
Oh no, Bob, we might be other people.
Oh no,
We might have to do two great streams this weekend.
They announced Jinx for 2XKO, that fighting game that's in League of Legends.
The Pokemon character?
No,
Oh.
the
No,
famous
Gooner Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's already that. This is just Harley
Gooner
Quinn 2.
Harley Quinn.
In this case, he's using Gunner not as a noun, but as an adjective. Even more goon-like. Gooner.
Each gooner than the last. I'm kind of surprised it took this long to announce her. But I wonder if they just waited to time it up with the release of Arcane Season 2. That came
That
out
is
this
almost
week.
certain what happened.
But this game still isn't out. This is actually announced for showing up in the beta test. It's like next year. Man, it is taking a while for this thing to release.
Sure is.
Infinity Nikki, not to be confused with Nikkei. Very different game.
Yes, incredibly different.
Infinity Nikki actually got a release date and two new trailers. One that just breaks down a bunch of the mechanics. This game looks real. It comes out December 5th.
It's amazing. The dream is alive.
Is it 5th? 4th is written there.
That's what the pre-order is for, but that's the weird goofy thing on the PlayStation Store where...
Yeah, it is a free-to-play game. It's going to have all kinds of monetization, but yeah.
Very excited to see the true form of Infinity Nikki. We've dealt with the trailers for so
am
long.
I.
That breakdown trailer is pretty neat. It shows you like, oh yeah, this outfit lets her do this triple jump. This one does this, and this one does this. And I'm like, so how are you locking this off? What do I need to roll for?
Oh, you need to give us $10 million.
There's a $10 pre-order pack, and I doubt it's a good deal because those things feel like they never are.
I don't know. It was a great deal for Zenless Zone Zero.
Sure was not. God, there's almost no way it's set up as badly as Zenless Zone Zero. So, there's that.
So you're saying I should do the $10 pre-order again?
No, probably not.
Jeez.
Another Monster Hunter mobile game is on the way. There's already Hunt or Wild or whatever that one is on the phone.
I think Hunt's the name, yeah.
But there's another one called Monster Hunter Outlanders. It's going to be on iOS and Android. This is developed by Timmy Studio. Timmy Studio Group. Sorry, don't want to forget the group part.
Yeah, that's a good name.
They made Pokemon Unite and Honor of Kings World, which still isn't out.
Okay.
They announced they were working on this like 2 years ago. So this is actually the full announcement of, hey, it's real.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out. We don't know when, but kind of soon-ish. It's going to be an open world survival game with character switching. And all I can think of, this is them making Monster Hunter Genshin.
Huh. It's an idea that wouldn't...
Genshin is the grand... Genshin is the real... We're making a service game that's actually going to like even remotely work like the MMO phase did, and not just we instantly die.
But yeah, the trailer already shows a bunch of them just going around on gliders, and it looks like they're pre-made characters. Like you actually probably roll for these different characters that are just in the different armor sets from the game.
Cool.
It could be neat.
Maybe.
It has a bunch of the weapons from the original game as well. So I don't know how exactly they're going to make this work, but it could be interesting. Dan, did you know that they remastered Warcraft 1 and 2?
I think they only did it just for this.
Yeah, they did it just like this week. This is the Shadow Drop.
Someone told me, and I was like, are they talking about 3? Are they talking about Warcraft 3 remastered? It's been a while. Why are they... what do you mean pixel art? That one was 3D. What are you talking about?
Right?
What the hell are you talking about? And still, if they hadn't had the conversation with me in this news segment where it's happening right now, I still wouldn't know. I heard no one talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, what's the deal?
They shadow dropped 1 and 2. They also did a big update for 3 Reforged.
Good.
So that's allegedly up to stuff now.
Did they make it not shitty?
Allegedly.
Back in it.
Oh no, we're gonna have to do 3 great streams this weekend.
They have, for the 1 2, they've added a new artwork, which I didn't get a very good look at. It looks kind of like up-res version of the old artwork, but you can switch back and forth. They allege that the new artwork is all hand-painted.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
They added an art gallery. They added gameplay improvements, so now you can select more units at once, and the units have health bars under them.
Whoa.
Stuff that, is very common now, but these are some of the progenitors of RTS. So it wasn't...
Yeah, the only game before it was like fucking Dune.
Right?
That's crazy.
You can buy all 3 games together for $40, or if you want to get them individually, $10 for 1, $15 for 2, and $30 for 3.
They're charging 2 different prices for Warcraft 1 and 2?
Yes. I guess 2 is allegedly that much better, I guess.
Well, they wanted it to be... They wanted the collection to be a $5 discount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the real reason.
Well, I mean, the $40 bundle gets you all 3, so it would actually be
it's
a $15.
40, so it's a $15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think it's really weird to be like,
It's just so much better than
it's so much. It's 50% better. And then Warcraft 3 is 3 times as good as Warcraft 1.
It also has an art gallery where apparently they're saying they dug up lots of old concept art and stuff that never been seen before. So that's cool.
See someone in chat saying, a shame this involves giving money to Modern Blizzard. No, it's fine. Phil Spencer fixed it. We're good now.
Yeah,
Everything's
that
fine.
happened.
Bobby Kotick left, right?
I feel like, like, not to be a downer, but I feel like the past 2 weeks have proved pretty definitively that nothing you personally do matters.
Yeah.
You're free of ethical constraints because it don't matter. Do ants sit around wondering if what they're doing is for the greater good? Probably not.
Don't worry about it. Moving on. Hey, Bob.
Hey, I've got some Sakuna of Rice and Ruin news.
Oh, that's great. Here's some news. Tosh still hasn't opened the Switch copy I bought her 3 years ago. Do you have something to tell me that's going to fix that?
No, nothing's going to fix that.
Damn
man.
it.
I still haven't played it either. I didn't buy it, though, so I don't feel bad.
Okay, that's good. What's the deal with this?
They announced a spin-off,
Uh-huh.
Sakuna Chronicles, Kokorowa, and the Gears of Creation.
What the fuck is this name?
I don't know, man. It's apparently about Sakuna's good friend who's a princess. I don't know anything else.
Okay.
And they're working on more anime because they already did one season of anime. And there's a smartphone game in development.
Cool. I assume the PC version of Sakuna is good because it's one of that tier of game where I expect it to run swell on PC, but I don't actually know.
Right.
Maybe I should put it on my want list or whatever on Steam. That way I can stare at it the next time it's on sale.
Yeah, it goes on sale pretty frequently. So does the PlayStation version.
Yeah.
So either one. With your PS5 Pro, you can probably...
Oh, with my PS5 Pro, I can travel back in time and tell a dev to add a 120 frame per second mode for the love of fucking God.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that in the PC version either.
Oh, a lot of them do.
I know.
A lot of them.
A lot of them do.
I feel like if it's at all good on PC, it will as well. Because those are the two options. The PC version's completely busted, or this game that looks like a PS2 game could run above 60.
And that's all my news.
Okay, cool. Hey, Chris!
Okay, it's Chris news time. Overwatch Classic came out November 12th. That's 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. How exciting.
I wonder if someone can play that.
I'm a little busy. I have to do 3 streams this weekend.
Just do 4 and make one of them Overwatch.
Hey, chat. You want to watch me fall off the wagon? Dan always curses, but he seems angrier now. I don't like this, Dan. Go ahead.
Amplitude Studios, who are the developer of Humankind and Endless Dungeon, are splitting with them. They're splitting with Saga, who was their publisher. Seemingly, the leadership and employees purchased it from Saga.
Oh.
Dope.
And all their shit.
I bet
this seemingly only happened because somebody said, don't fucking shut us down, just let us buy ourselves from you.
God.
This industry, man.
Jesus. Well, I'm glad that happened.
In Hell World news, Disney is considering EA CEO Andrew Wilson to head Disney after Bob Iger leaves.
God, they really are just like this weird class of
Human.
yeah, like
Yeah,
They're kings.
It doesn't
we just
matter
trade
what
kings around.
right. They do nothing at all that's positive for anyone, and yeah,
And experience no consequences.
Yeah, I think like year over year they've been down
yeah.
for a while. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, it doesn't matter how incompetent a CEO is. They're in that social class, so they get to be a CEO forever.
What a world.
I don't see how making sports games into an unregulated casino aimed at yuppies with compulsive disorders translates to Disney.
I kind of do. But I don't think they'll pull it off.
But like, sure, the market went against him, but he demonstrated the will to generate revenue.
Is that a thing that
Not the ability to generate revenue,
Right,
just the will.
I mean, like we've learned in these unprecedented times that sometimes it just doesn't work out, and we can't blame him for that.
What about all those times he
consequences are for
fucked
poor
up?
people.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Executives at NetEase were arrested on suspicion of money laundering over $100 million. They were seemingly caught as a result of an internal sting, like they were going to some sort of meeting. They were told, no, come to the meeting here. It's here now. And then when they showed up there, like police were like waiting for them.
Yes.
Chris, we figured we would get you in the studio for the Days Gone 3 spoiler cast. Just come on over. Just come on over. We're gonna record it all in the studio. I rented a studio. Well, yes, it is next to the police department. Why do you ask?
God, it's so funny.
Jeez.
I think this included like the company's general manager. So this is not small.
Wow.
It'd be really funny. It seemingly has not impacted their operations at all, but it'd be really funny if it did.
That's crazy. Okay. All right.
Good Old Games has announced the Good Old Games Preservation Program. This is basically, we will make sure these games run on modern systems.
Ooh, thank you.
And once we add these to our list, they will always run on modern systems. Like, we will keep them updated.
Nice.
There's 100 games so far. They include pretty good picks like Arcanum of Steamwork and Magic, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Heroes of Might and Magic 4, Riven, Fallout New Vegas, and many other games. Like they almost certainly just want, what do people say to play when somebody says I just got my first gaming PC? Okay, go down the list. I will not read the fucking list of these because
Yeah, it's 100.
it's 100. And finally, Microsoft has announced a new marketing campaign for the fact they're going to cease production of Xbox hardware in 3 months. By the way, Phil Spencer came out today and said, we're still making Xbox, we're still going to make consoles, we're going to make other things too. We promise we're not getting out of hardware. We promise. Every single time we signal through our actions that we're going to stop making hardware, Phil Spencer has to rush out as fast as he can to insist that's not what's happening, even as they continue making every single move that would only make sense if they were.
Yeah.
And in fact, he kind of soft, like, I don't think his statement mentioned that 2026 Xbox at all. So I feel like they're already stopping mentioning that.
Yeah. Because they already mentioned it. There's no reason to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and show the merch they're selling.
God, it's gonna be like, yeah, there's a portable. We're working on a portable, and it's like the sticker for this is an Xbox is going to be on a Steam Deck.
This is the merch they're selling. This is the new marketing campaign. This is an Xbox. This is not an Xbox. This is an Xbox. How is the shirt an Xbox?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you follow the curve of events thus far, I believe we're 6 months out from Phil Spencer sitting on a shitty YouTuber news stage and declaring that this year's Xbox is the memories of gaming that we made with all our dear friends on Xbox Live.
So, hey, this sure is the logical conclusion to they're shipping a box to stores called Xbox Arc.
Yep.
They have completely dissolved the meaning of the word Xbox thoroughly. It is now the sole focus of this marketing campaign.
They're not even shipping things. They're walking into stores and declaring that boxes are called Xbox.
Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed me talking about how much that was a nightmare years ago and a bunch of people going, it's not that bad. And then slowly everyone finally getting onto the same page. And, wow, it is this bad. And then they announce, here's our new marketing campaign. It is that bad.
This is a massive revolution in corporate and industrial streamlining. do you realize how little overhead you have when you don't actually make a product? You just shift the paradigm of someone else's product and declare that those pre-existing numbers are to your credit?
God.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a giant install base because all iPhones are Xboxes.
Android too.
Do you think there's even the smallest chance that anybody ever signs up for Game Pass on their fucking iPhone?
Real quick, I need my co-host to tune into the stream on Twitch because I'm not resending the video, okay? Because we just had something hit us. And this is an even more unreal element of this fucking marketing campaign. Are you ready? Are my co-hosts there?
I'm
There'll
ready.
be some delay. Go for it. I'm here.
This is a real bus stop. This is what they're going to do. They're going to have a
They're
bus stop.
so fucking pathetic. Why are they spending these hundreds of thousands of dollars on these gimmicks? Guys, you don't sell anything. The time for this is past. You failed.
I'm seriously, Xbox marketing, I'm starting to believe, has hit some like 90s cynical parody corporatist nightmare where they don't, like, they become an exclave within the company. They don't actually report to anybody. Nobody's supervising them. Their checks keep clearing, but they're not getting instructions. So they just keep sending out increasingly ridiculous bullshit as a sort of a test, a cry for help. Like, is anybody still out there? Do we make Xboxes?
No, no one has made an Xbox in 10 million years. I scanned the QR code because I was too curious. It brought me to Xbox.com, English, US. Let's see. Play? Just the word play? That's the whole fucking name? Are you fucking... Anyway, /play, which gives you a page that says Cloud Gaming Beta. It still says beta at the top of this Cloud Gaming Beta.
Well, it's
And then
never
it
going
says
to work
what-
right, so it's always going to be beta.
I know, isn't that insane? How can you sell a product this long and still call it beta? And it has these issues. Did you know there were queue lines? There are literally queues you have to get into to use the streaming elements sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
That has always been, in my opinion, the absolute death knell for this entire technology. The moment somebody's like, I want to play this game that I purchased over your streaming service, it's like, well, you're in the queue. Well, it's like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about how Xbox's marketing team is the worst in the industry.
It is. It somehow every time out they manage to make something just cringe.
Which is why it's really funny that they were complaining that they have so much less money for marketing than Sony's team. And I'm like, well, you earned it. Because that guy did literally complain. He's like, Sony outspends us 3 or 6 to 1 on our marketing budget.
In another fucking infuriating dog shit thing that Phil Spencer said, he's like, I don't think a $500 console is, growing the industry. And I'm like, Phil, you sell a $600 console.
That one's totally growing the industry. The $1,000 one will definitely grow the industry.
Can you lower the prices on
No.
any?
I mean, to
why
be fair,
isn't
they
the-
lower the fucking price on Xbox Series all the fucking time. It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't. For
It
them, but
doesn't.
still,
Other
lowering-
products in this industry, it would affect things.
doing a sale
Oh!
and lowering a price are two different things as well.
Oh, this is an exciting
That's true.
piece of news. We forgot this in September. September was the first month ever that the Series X outsold the Series S. It outsold it 52% to 48.
Wow. The vision's really coming alive.
Like they sold 6 Series X's and 4 Series S. Like, what are these real numbers? Remember that year that AMD had to come out and be like, consoles are down. We lost a lot of money this year. It's down the exact percent Xbox is down. And I'm like, does anyone want to explain to the audience that that's the exact same percent? No? Okay. Every PC guy. Console gaming's in decline. Me. Yeah, that's, I guess if we have to sink the whole ship with Xbox, you're right. Man, this is bad.
Yeah, no, this is really bad.
This is like possibly the biggest fuck up marketing wise at Xbox since launch.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, they seem to have some. Sorry for the spicy language. Their head of marketing seems to be a glib cunt. Like, their marketing literally seems to be focused on people making fun of Xbox Online, like reactionary to that.
Yeah, they're still
which
doing
is
that.
psychotic
For
when
4
you're in
years.
distant third. You don't have any fans, motherfucker. You
Yeah.
don't have any.
Well, you can't focus on the people who bully you because you look insane to everyone else. That's just how it works.
It's like, what Xbox fanboy is getting motivated by this? But like, who is moved?
I don't
Who
know.
moves the need? Like, this isn't a marketing. A marketing strategy is to grow your fucking product.
Mhm.
This isn't a marketing strategy. It is the most pitiful. It is like when a streamer tries to artificially manufacture an in-joke for his audience. But it's the world's biggest corporation doing that.
Yeah, and what they're pushing with is the idea they've been pushing forever of, oh no, that device is not, the box isn't the only thing that's the Xbox. Game Pass is everywhere, and that's the Xbox, which is the generic marketing lingo that's got them nowhere for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think this is going to push the needle? Like, that's not hitting anybody.
We paid a celebrity to talk about how they can play Xbox on their TV thanks to Alexa now.
You did that 4 years ago.
Well, we just did it again.
Was it a bigger celebrity?
I don't know. It wasn't a really big one. We
Yeah,
couldn't afford a
guys,
really big
we
one.
kind of just got like the world's clearest use case of nobody cares about celebrity endorsements whatsoever under any context. We kind of just had an election about that.
Look, the important thing here is that 4 years in, I still have a PS5 called barbecue sauce. Because that man dips his fries in the barbecue sauce. So it can have impact. It just doesn't have a positive or necessarily good one.
I have to imagine, like, there is an office in which sits Xbox's head of marketing, and he's got on his wall, thumbtacked to a corkboard, a printout of that old comic meme where it's like two guys digging horizontal holes right next to the mother lode of diamonds, and it's just labeled
90% of
"Keep
gambling
doubling
addicts give
down
up."
on
Yeah.
Game Pass."
Yeah, that's how it feels. I have to wonder if part of it comes from the marketing sees this light of games and sees it's completely empty.
Yeah, that's true. If they had a product to sell on the regular like Sony does,
Right.
like Sony has a Spider-Man, a Gran Turismo, a Horizon. They get things to sell. This year's the only time they didn't get a thing to sell except for Concord. Oh my God.
Right.
Because
But-
they weren't really selling Astrobot in the same way they were those other things. But
that's driving them the same. On top of, now the new thing is you can play our games on things that aren't us. Like it's coming to PlayStation, it's coming to Nintendo. There's no boundary, so I know we'll never have games. We can't sell games ever now.
I think Bob's completely right. I do not remember, and this is another miracle of Xbox marketing, if I said this to Dan at like during the 1X or the Series X. Where we were looking at some Microsoft ad and went, man, Xbox's marketing division is ready to go to fucking war, and they have no ammunition.
yep. So many years straight of that.
I feel like that happened pretty hardcore early on the 1X's life. Sorry, not the regular one, no X. When stuff like Fable was on the way. Before it was canceled. And they were like, oh man, Fable is coming. It's going to be huge. Print it on every box. Print it on every Xbox.
Can we get through a single big think without the F word, please?
I feel bad for Dan, who's just slowly going psychotic. He's like, this game they showed at the fucking Series X reveal just keeps going further. It's 2026 now because they can't fucking ship anything.
I really fucking hate. Once a week on Big Think Dimension, fucking the ghost of Phil Spencer shows up at my door and just does the fucking Kung Fu Hustle thing of like, I'm gonna punch you. And I'm like, then do it!
See, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm completely detached. Whatever the next Gears thing is, whatever. Emergency, Halo, whatever. Just fucking finish burying Fable. Just fucking finish it. I'm so tired.
No, that's not how this shit works. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, they also got to finish digging up Perfect Dark and peeing on it.
I don't even care. We saw their vertical slice. It's lame and uninteresting in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll play the game when it comes out. It's like Perfect Dark was fucking murdered with Perfect Dark 0.
It's true.
I also don't fucking believe that vertical slice was representative of anything.
I think it's the most slop thing ever. Like, their most ambitious moment is, what if there were 2 tables in a room and it was of a moderate size and you crouch walk next to it to sneak past 2 guys? I'm like, holy shit. Wow. It's just like Deus Ex.
I thought the most ambitious part was climbing water gutters.
So yeah, anyway, I just need you to ship Fable. Anyways, I do think it's funny that the next game the marketing team is supposed to lean into is Avowed.
Uh-huh. Good luck.
Oh god, I'm sorry, Obsidian. You guys are going to the fucking death house. It's over.
Besides, I have the PS5 Pro, which is the best place to play all of these.
What are you talking about? Indiana Jones comes out in December. They released a big video this week. No way you probably put it in the news because who cares? It's an Indiana Jones video.
I'm not going to mince words. That game looks like shit.
It really does.
I didn't look at any footage.
I laughed so hard when he did a thing, and then it's like plus 20 adventure points.
Like maybe if they hadn't been so incredibly
It's fucking stupid.
like if they weren't treating this like a super game and it's like, yeah, here's our janky. If a European studio made this in 2013 for PC only, maybe I would be hype for this weird fucking.
I feel like this entire 15-minute video is a perfect step-by-step scenario for why you don't make an Indiana Jones game in first person. Every single moment, I'm like,
It has to keep switching.
Worse. This is
It
worse.
has to keep switching back to third person for him to do anything too. It's so strange.
Yeah, and it looks terrible when it does that.
They were the perfect developer. Todd told me.
I think the only reason they said that is you fight Nazis in Wolfenstein. That's it. That's
guess what? They slit that franchise's throat.
Yeah.
I think he said it because everyone knows it's not true. So he just addressed it by lying.
Fair.
Anyway, that's it for the news. We're done.
There's one more section.
No,
there's a whole segment.
Aren't we already in that section?
It feels that way, but
Desmond, get out here! Fuck! Oh, he's fucking dead.
yeah.
Whatever.
Chris, do the fucking segment.
I actually wrote these down this time.
Oh, you wrote those
Yeah,
down?
Bob can do it. I didn't write down shit.
God damn it.
So Tequila Works is filing for insolvency, which is basically bankruptcy.
Who's Tequila Works?
Tequila Works made Rhyme.
Oh.
In Guild, which apparently came out last year. And did you know they made one of the 12 billion League of Legends games?
Oh.
And that was
Man,
their
those
final
were sure a
game, and that
mistake
killed
for
them.
everyone.
Yes. So they did a ton of layoffs last month. Yes, we missed that. And now there's that wasn't enough. We have to just close down. This sucks.
Yeah.
Not much else to say about that.
Okay.
It just sucks.
Let's move on.
Embracer is always
Somehow.
Yeah, same have returned. Wasn't it just last week we were talking about Embracer doesn't exist anymore?
Chat, why are you saying
they
Embracer's
functionally
dead?
don't.
But they are divesting the mobile developer Easy Rain to sell them off to a digital entertainment firm called MiniClip, which is Tencent.
Okay.
And somehow this magics them up $1.2 billion. And the Embracer is now more stable.
Cool.
And this Easy Brain developer, which
Stable for them to do
more crime, I assume.
Backflips.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Get out of here, Desmond. Oh, right. You're dead. Somebody get that gravestone out of here. Well, the Funko Fusion versus Lego Horizons flop swap stream tomorrow will be way better than that segment was.
Yeah.
And way better than Xbox's marketing. What is stupid marketing compared?
This is incredibly dumb, yeah.
Company spends hundreds of millions of dollars to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, like other ones that we've complained about recently. Like the just Ara.
Yeah, Ara, something untold.
That was clearly made by an intern for no money.
Right.
Like that's everything else they've been doing is so cheap, and this is clearly no. You spent billions.
Yeah.
To make this awful marketing campaign, and you didn't market Call of Duty.
Every one of these is just them obsessed with people owning them, like the Xbox fridge.
Yeah.
That thing only exists because they wanted to own the insult.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they remember when they were like calling it the X-Bone is insulting, and all the Xbox fanboys at the Xbox One launch got really, really thin-skinned and upset about that? I'm like, guys, it's just Xbox One, X-Bone. A lot of people saying it aren't even being derogatory.
Right.
Why is it like anyway? Yeah, yes, the Xbox fridge, in fact, warmed up your soda. They really owned the joke. The haters have been owned. I'm excited to see what Funko Fusion is like with the power of the PlayStation 5 Professional.
Me too.
And I'm excited to watch chat react to the dialogue in Lego Horizon. I think it may be the most caustic thing we have ever streamed on that angle.
My God.
It's a high bar, but I think it can clear it.
I'm so excited or horrified.
Aside from that, Chris is taking another week off, but next week will be Killer 7. And,
yes, no matter what.
I've got a lot of RPGs to stream or to play, so I don't know about us doing additional streams over the next week, but we might. We got a lot of really great streams. We a lot of really great games to stream.
It's true.
And if things come through, next Friday is looking like a very exciting stream as well. We'll see if that pans out, though. Anyways, hey, Aggro.
Yes, sir.
What do I got to do to get you to eat the banana snack?
I'm trying to remember the last time I bought American cheese.
Oh, wow. This guy doesn't make smash burgers.
No, I do Colby Pepperjack.
Huh. See, that's...
Not really in the spirit of a hamburger.
See, this is the next thing we got to do. We got to go to Publix. We got to get them like, I need 6 slices of this one and 6 slices of this one and
the
6
perfect
slices.
cheese.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It might be that fucking fucked up levels of good blue cheese they have at the Publix.
Huh.
It's literally a deli sliced blue cheese.
That sounds good for a burger.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be fucking perfect burger. Why am I need to end this so I can. We're leaving this. Shut it down. Shut it down. We're ending this podcast. We're ending this. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think to Mention. Big Think to Mention is only possible because of you and your support over at patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get access to Armchair Devs Extra, Gamer Premonitions Extra, Pokemon Go to the Movies final episode, early access to Chugging Bleach, the movie Isolation 119, and so much more. You also get to vote on what good movies we watch. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast, and you can watch AV Hell with us.